Hey, so for this release of the Weskerocity podcast, we decided to do something a little different. On the YouTube video, my friends suggested that I add some gameplay footage to the recording of the audio so that there's a visual element for the podcast. Not really associated with it much, but originally I recorded some Resident Evil 5 on professional difficulty, but the AI partner was so god awful that that footage was pretty much unusable because it was 90% me just dying, my partner getting stuck on walls and shit. But yeah, so I decided I'm gonna find something more interesting next time. But for now, I have my speed run. Well, not really a speed run, but just a fast run through Resident Evil 5 on amateur difficulty. Um, viewer discretion is advised for this podcast episode, though, I want to say. We touch on some pretty heavy topics very briefly, but we don't go too in depth. So, with that being said, I hope you all enjoy this episode. Hey, welcome to the Weskerocity podcast, coming at you live!
From Ruckersville, Virginia.
Ruckersville, Virginia.
That's the one. Yeah.
Ooh.
Spader's trying to file his taxes right now, if you just excuse him.
Yeah. Unsuccessfully.
Competitively.
Yeah. Competitively.
Sorry, I was eating my Zaps.
Oh.
My Zaps Louisiana kettle cooked spicy Cajun crawtators potato chips.
That's fake.
Okay.
Did you type all that up beforehand?
No, I'm eating a bag of Zaps New Orleans kettle style spicy
But that was like
Cajun
8 fucking
crawtators.
words, man.
Spicy
a real
Cajun
thing,
crawtators.
You mean Louisiana crunchy fried spicy Cajun crawtators?
Batter fried, covered in Creole cream.
Creole, wee-ho!
Whoa, nanny.
Whoopee!
Did you actually watch that clip, or is that just
No, yeah, just
because he did it exactly the way he would have.
For context, apparently that is how Chris Chan exclaims when he busts a fat Sonichu.
Oh, I forgot about that.
He
I
busts
think
a
that's
Sonic
in between,
spinball.
like, I think that's in between, like, him, actually climaxing and drinking it with Fanta in a little shot glass.
Oh god.
It was
There's
in
actual
a
footage of
video. It was a video he was putting on about him with a blow-up doll. I don't remember who requested the video.
People posing as a woman wanting to
One-
wanting him to show off his sexual prowess. That's
It
normally
was someone posing as a woman, messaging him, "Something about blow-up doll."
For the
It's
80th
a
time.
I wonder if it was Jackie. I know. I think I. No, there got to have been a couple of them. Who knows?
Look, I don't want to read through Christian's black book. All right, here's a little black book. It's
I mean,
a lot
it's
bigger
very
than mine.
expensive for a fucking virgin.
He's not a virgin no more.
Right? Yeah. He paid the microtransaction to progress.
Christine has seen a couple of prostitutes in her time.
Did he ever buy his GF? With all his RuneScape money?
Is RuneScape gold? I don't know if he ever bought GF. I know he bought a single night. I don't know if he paid the full subscription fee though. You have to ask Blizzard.
Are you recording?
Yeah. Mr.
It's very-
Crunchy Louisiana fried chicken ass, Cajun crawdad, fucking swamp trousers, walking
To be
in
fair,
here.
We do have a
From
pizza
Florida.
called Sweep the Swamp. I think that has crawfish on it.
I literally live on wetlands, and I'm not as crawdad
Hey, we can
as you
relate.
are. Oh yeah.
Living in a fucking ocean right now.
Yes, Spader is currently trying to finish his game of Apex Legends, and Gay Robot is trying to not finish his game of Terraria. Modded
I'm
Terraria.
just trying to finish.
God, get
Whoopee!
in the fucking house. What are you doing shooting arrows at me?
Well, if it makes you feel any better, Wesker, I stopped eating my chips.
I thought you were gonna say something different because I was still thinking about Chris Chan.
I'm always thinking about Christian.
Who is
stick on your mind?
Like, like, pre-transition and post-transition. You know, like there's a place in my heart for both Chris and Christine alike. You know, they just occupy it like cholesterol.
They just never go away,
Yeah,
and it will cause your death inevitably.
it's love, man.
That is love. It's not love if it doesn't kill you.
What made him this way?
What is
Why?
the fascination? What keeps us interested?
This is the story of Chris Chan.
Every single time he does that, I'm waiting for the Twilight Zone theme to start playing.
You're waiting for that eye to come out of the doorway in the warp zone.
Yeah. To take me to the special zone in the Sonichu world to get a chaotic crystal.
Whoopee!
Can't believe he calls them the chaotic crystals.
Oh, those are what the chaotic 7 need to collect. Chaotic
I believe
8?
so. It's chaotic 8?
I don't know.
I know Sonichu, once Sonichu gets the 8 chaotic crystals, you get to see Super Sonichu, which is red.
Isn't the Punch Sonichu just like Knuckles?
Yeah, isn't Blake just Shadow?
Who the fuck is Blake?
I don't know if he's called Blake Chu or just Blake. It's just Sonichu, but with shadow coloring. That is just Shadow the Hedgehog.
Isn't it Blachu? Black Sonichu?
Yeah, it's something like that. It's like
Black Sonichu? Oh
so.
my god, that makes perfect sense, man. Blake is such that's such an innovative idea.
I remember he was one of the Hedgehog boys. He was the one on the drums. I don't know why I remember that specific detail, but yeah, that's the one.
Sonic himself was one of the Hedgehog boys, I think.
Was it Chris in the Hedgehog boys?
Yeah.
Blake
Yeah, he's like
originally
lead singer.
Black Sonichu.
Yeah, Robot. How close are we to Chris Chan with like our wiki and our comics and such? How close are we?
Man.
Like on a scale from office worker in his 40s, probably still watching like cable TV to complete Chris Chan. Where are we on the scale?
I would give us a Asperchew rating. You know, we're I'd like to think we're sane. Oh my fucking god, that destroyed him.
That's a good way to put it. I'd like to think we're sane.
But, you know, we're not entirely so, like, let's be real.
Yeah, looking at Black Sonichu's stats real quick. Seems to be something
are those
of
Quake sound effects? That's awesome.
like a glass cannon, it looks like. I don't know if Sonichu's stats compare, but
It's like Zoroark from Pokemon if it was overpowered. This thing right here, this could go toe to toe with Arceus
yeah.
or Arceus.
Yeah, these are indeed Pokemon stats. Yeah, you just made me realize that. Like I was thinking about it with the special attack and special defense, but I was thinking, like my mind still kind of jumps to like Final Fantasy and that kind of stuff with like the magic stats.
Do you play video games?
No, fuck you.
Alright. Just making sure we don't have an odd one out.
I hate video games.
Fucking nerd.
Good.
This podcast is about anime.
Ugh.
I like some anime, you know. I like my Dragon Balls. I like my One Piece. I like my let me think for a minute about what other animes exist.
Kenan and Kel is my favorite anime.
Is
Either
Kingdom
that
Heart-
or Overhaul Terraria.
Is Kingdom Hearts an anime, or is that just that fanfic I wrote?
Yeah, I like Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. It's got a manga. Actually, they all have manga adaptations.
I've only
Dragon
read.
Guard manga.
I like the Kingdom Hearts manga. I've only read the story covering Kingdom Hearts 1 though.
An ex got me the Chain of Memories manga for my birthday, like back when I was in high school. I still have it, and it's like pretty. Like the art is good, but the battles are so weak and they go by so quickly. It doesn't have the same impact that the game has.
So I accidentally looked at Blake or Black Sonichu spoilers. He gets raped.
Yes.
What?
Yes,
He
he
gets
does.
raped. To cover, alright, so in episode 18 it is revealed that Blake has a secret romance with Bubbles and that they have sex with raincoats and don't let the rest of Quickville know. To cover up their relationship, they pretend to fight and he acts like an ass. At the end of the episode, he gets raped by a shape-shifting hermaphrodite named Sylvana. This rape is meant to be a metaphor representing Chris being controlled by men pretending to be women. Like, does
What?
Christian know about Devilman? Because like I see it in a lot of his work.
Everything's just Devilman, man.
There's a lot of Devil Lady in this.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
it's a little too real.
Do you guys know about the fucking poster he keeps in his room of Sailor Moon, and he keeps it to, quote, remind him that he is straight and to fight off the temptation?
It's reminding him of...
Fight off the temptation.
It's so funny. It's reminding him of Megan, I'm
real
sure.
struggle.
Yes, that
He's hanging on to
14-year-old girl.
Megan.
Yeah. I hear Megan isn't very like
Which Megan? Because I know he's got a wife.
There's another fucking Megan?
Well, he's really obsessed with Megan from Family Guy.
Oh, God.
not that Megan.
No, like,
Oh yeah, Megan Schroeder. I
the
know.
one person that was actually like a nice, like a good human being to him, and like way more
I don't
reasonable
know
than
if-
everyone else.
Maybe in the beginning.
Like I
later
don't
on,
think she hates Chris or anything.
Is there more? Is there more
or like
to it?
any of the attention she's gotten over it, but yeah, I think she's just a nice person in
There's
general.
some evidence to
She-
suggest
she
she
was
was
a little
a part of the
too nice.
trolling auction.
Oh
like-
God! So everyone's just evil in this crazy chaotic.
There
world.
was
Okay.
one local lady that was nice to him, but then some trolls found her out, and they linked her to the wiki, and then she was like, "Oh fuck."
She fell into the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Alice had a little bit of a vacation in Wonderland for a second. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
There's also Anna. I don't know what ever happened to Anna.
I forget.
Yeah, you're way ahead of me.
Yeah.
I only know Megan and
There was
Ivy.
Julia.
So I get that Christian is the most documented person on the internet, but I took I took Gay Robot on it, and it's just like, go watch the earliest episodes of the Christian documentary by Gino, and I'm just like, okay. I didn't realize that people had access to so many of his school assignments.
Yeah, that surprised the fuck out of me. Like, he is literally one of the most documented people in history. It's
Kinda-
fucking crazy.
That sentence kind of makes me uncomfortable. That
Like, he's
people-
right up there with, like, Hitler and shit.
How the fuck do people have his school assignments?
They probably know what time of day he fucking
If
showers.
if it wasn't Chris
Yeah, never.
like posting about his
He
stuff
takes some
himself
axe.
or
puts
talking
ad on
about
it.
it with people who like catfished him, there are people that have dug in the dumpster beside his house after like the house fire
Oh my
to find
God.
that kind of stuff.
That
They're
is-
dumpster divers. The stalkers will dumpster dive for the sake of documenting this person. And I think that's the creepiest thing about it is the people that stalk Christian. I don't see them as guardian angels or anything. I think they're very creepy.
Yeah, that's like kind of weird. That's really weird. That's like, whoo, boy. Like, I don't know, like, I guess like a sick, curious part of myself kind of appreciates it. But, man, don't fucking pick up someone else's trash. Like, come on. But if it ain't interesting content, I don't know what is, man.
You know, Bob always said one person's trash is another's treasure.
Whew! One person's treasure is another man's trash.
Man.
This Chris Chan stuff is like...
I wonder how Bob and Barbara ended up together. They seem like opposites.
I wonder if they cheated on each other before they got separated in their families.
What's the wonder about that? You think?
I don't know their history.
Are you wondering who Liquid Chris's real father is?
I haven't gotten to Liquid Chris,
Liquid Chris is
man.
telling the truth, and he's just been living in the basement of their house.
Liquid Chris is probably the best fucking arc out there. Like, it's so fucking funny. It's not disturbing like Blue Spike or anything like that. It's just pure fun. It's great.
If
And he
anyone
loses his
wants
shit.
to look more into Chris Chan and doesn't know what the fuck we're talking about, please
The
check
three
out.
people who don't know who he is.
Yeah, please check out Chris Chan. What is it called?
A Comprehensive History by
History.
Gino Samuel.
Yeah.
It's on the channel Gino Samuel 2.1 because the original one got deleted.
I'm
For bullying.
ready.
Or you can go to
Double my taxes.
or you can go to the
Alright.
Sanachi Wiki, the Quickville Wiki. The Quickie.
I'd say WC.
How do you feel now that you're done with your taxes, Spader?
Oh, I could be better.
Oh.
I almost won, but I could be.
No good returns, it seems.
How was your team doing? Shitty through all the way?
No, my team was actually carrying me. I died almost early on. They kind of carried me.
Oh fuck,
Third
man.
place. The second.
You might have
best
to
loser.
give the government some money in that case.
Yeah.
Would you ever consider putting footage over the podcast?
I considered like recording Halo or some other game I played, but I don't know if that'd be worth it. Like that might I could.
It would absolutely be worth it, especially if it's like VR chat or something.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a different case though. What are you talking about exactly, Brandon? I want to hear what you mean.
I was just gonna say like random gameplay. I was thinking back to whenever I would watch creepypastas with gameplay playing in the background, like from who's that one guy? Yuri of Wind. Yeah, I like him.
I love Yuri of Wind. I love his bullshit creepypasta story time that he can no longer call that because YouTube is fucking stupid.
That's a shame.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I could just film myself, like surfing in CS:GO with a knife out, I think everyone loves
don't
that.
get banned.
Really? Yeah.
Because I know your earliest
Cancelable.
ideas for the VR chat thing, where we were all in the game itself, recording our own perspectives. Which I'm not opposed to that at all.
Yeah, I thought of that, but like, I don't know because now like I've learned what VTubers are, and that sounds pretty much just a VTuber thing.
Well, yeah, but like, we're better.
Yeah, but
than
we're
them.
actually attractive.
Yeah, we've actually got tits, so and we're not fucking annoying.
We're not VTubers, we're X-tubers. Oh
We
yeah,
don't make people's ears bleed.
that's a good one. We can be the X-tubers, guys. The next generation
yeah.
of VTubers.
The
Well-
VTubers.
Well, we're better
Yeah.
than VTubers. We're not the next generation. We're the evolution. The X-elution.
The
Well-
failed abortion.
We can talk about our evolution in the next podcast, where we talk about how evolved and how many levels we have obtained in IRL.
God, I need wood.
Depending on what game you see me put here, that is, I guess what I decided on. Maybe Halo, maybe Resident Evil 5, maybe some other game. But there it is. Hope you're enjoying my shitty gameplay.
Wow, I can't believe he jumped right there. That was a
Wow.
mistake.
Oops. I didn't even know I could jump in Resident Evil 5.
Well, yeah. Well, it's actually a speedrunner trick. It's a lot of RNG, and it's like the most fun aspect of the game, the exploit by speedrunners.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. It's the one where you crank your left stick so hard that it flies off.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work anymore, yeah.
Is there an actual thing like that?
No. Probably in some fucking game, but not in Resident Evil 5, no.
Probably in Smash Brothers,
Yeah,
if you play hard
probably
enough.
in
If you
Melee.
play to win.
That's how you play Melee. You just gotta break your goddamn controller
Yeah.
to get all the good inputs in. Alright, gentlemen, let's get on topic. I'm Wesker Punch, of course. I'm joined with Brandon,
Hi.
Spader,
What's up?
and Gay Robot of the Time Lost Dragon variety.
Fuck.
Yes. Now, I believe that Spader wanted to specifically lead a conversation about something tonight that he has gotten a little bit passionate about recently.
Yeah, so and it's not just passion, it's a lot of nostalgia because after watching this, I've realized I've seen some of it and or played the old Game Boy Advance game, which would be Yu Hakusho.
Yeah, that old 90s anime that It's very beloved by some people. Others, probably younger people, probably don't even know what it is. But it's a classic, I think. I think it only gets better from the start. How far did you get?
Episode like 22. I think they just got done with episode 22. Yeah, I'm on episode 22.
Are they
Just finished I think Zukaku was his name.
Oh my god, you just made me forget his actual name by saying that. Suzaku.
Yeah, Suzaku. The four divine beasts or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
4 heavenly beasts, yeah.
Yeah. That was so cool to me. Like, so watching that, which is like fresh off of, Yusuke doing his training with Big Guy, and then Kuwabara just doing Kuwabara things and getting stronger because he's Kuwabara. So we see the first fight was Kurama, which I guess you get an idea of how strong he is just because he's a demon.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, and then that fight was decent. Like, it definitely shows their, like, the power level.
That was against, like, the turtle Ginbu or something, right?
Yeah, the rock guy that would, like, meld into the rocks or whatever, and he, like, sliced him up millions of times.
Yeah, I vaguely remember.
I like how that felt like a puzzle than, like, an actual...
Yeah, that was weird. But it was, like, the next fight lasted way longer, which was Kuwabara's fight. And it was so good, though.
Who did he fight again?
He fought, Byakuo.
Cat. From the
Oh, yeah, the tiger, yeah.
The cat that, like, did everything, like, absorb energy, throw his hair, squeeze his throat, and shoot out big power blast of
He became a huge heckin' chonker.
That was, like, on the roof of some place, right?
Yeah, and then he sent out, like, his hair that turned into other cats.
Yeah, pretty nuts.
It was crazy. But Kuwabara, like, that fight lasted forever, and it kind of showed, again, like, his power level. Like, it lasted longer because he wasn't as strong, which was cool.
Mm. But, hey...
Spirit sword thing. Oh, the spirit donut. Oh, God.
But how about Hiei's fight, huh? Against the dragon.
Yeah, last 2 seconds. Again, showing his power level.
Yep.
That was the coolest enemy, too.
He looked so fucking sick, but no.
Yeah, and they hype it up, and then I was just like, what the... Hiei just, like, shakes everything off and, like, just finished it. In, like, half an episode. I was like, what the hell?
Dude, you've been flying through this. I didn't realize that all 3 of those first arcs were covered in 22 episodes. That's pretty cool.
And then Yusuke, he gets tortured for, like, 4 episodes after that.
That Suzaku fight dragged on and
on.
Like, it did not make me feel good about Yusuke, as a fighter, as a character. I feel like EA could have cleaned up better than Yusuke did.
My problem with that was the guy's like, hey, I'm going to make you watch Keiko get chased by these demons. And holy, that is loud.
Yeah, it felt kind of contrived. Was that where Yusuke decided to... No, that's later. That's Dark Tournament. Never mind.
Yeah, so he's fighting the guy, which is cool and all. But my one complaint so far is, like, I understand Yusuke's learning, Yusuke's strong, but he's always just wanting to do his spirit shotgun. He said that like 20 times.
That's what I was going to ask.
Shotgun, okay, it's so cool. But at the same time, I think Suzaku should have won that fight.
Yeah, like, no, okay. This is the biggest anime trope that happens. Like, Yusuke goes into a fight he's not ready for. He fights. He does okay. He gets his ass beat. And then the guy's like, oh, I have another secret technique. And then... Oh, man. There's 2 of them, actually. So all that happens. He has another secret technique. He, like, multiplies himself. He starts fighting, and Yusuke's like, oh, perfect. I can use my spirit shotgun on this. He does it and doesn't finish him off. And then he's like, not tired, whatever, after he used all his energy, and then he gets his ass beat some more, and then he gets electrocuted for 3 episodes. All the time while Keiko is, like, stuck in this broom closet, and, like, these things are obviously busting the door down, and then, like, they just leave it, like, on her face in the background as Yusuke gets his ass shocked over and over and over and over and over.
Definitely not the best part of the series, that's for sure.
And then it was so funny because Yusuke's like, oh, Genkai's like, come on, Yusuke, don't be a little bitch, pretty much. And he's like, you know what? I'm tired of being a little bitch. So then he like breaks out or whatever, and then
Time to win now.
time to win now. He used a spirit gun as soon as the fight started. He used a spirit shotgun, so he used the two times he could use it, and now all of a sudden he can just fight again. And then like towards the end, the guy was like, I don't know, about to kill him or whatever, and then he's like, wait, I've missed every shot, and then it's like cuts to his tentacle, and he's like, you broke my tentacle with that first spirit shotgun. I was like, wait, that's tentacles? I just thought it was your damn hair.
Yeah,
it didn't make that very...
Why they go?
it's like kind of like Whiskers, because Suzaku is like sort of like a phoenix or like a bird or something with like kind of antenna.
Yeah, well, yeah. It was just like...
You were watching stuff, right?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It's absolutely wonderful.
So...
But like, it ends with him like getting defeated again, like 2 times in one fight, and then he's like, oh wait, he's using his spirit for his life force, his spirit power, he's gonna die. And I'm like, what the hell? Oh, to use a third shotgun, yeah. But it was great.
Something about the fight between Hiei, like Yusuke versus Hiei, and then Yusuke versus Suzaku, where I feel like the fights, like those 2 fights, were going nowhere for Yusuke up until the point he got 1 clean shot in, and then the fight is just suddenly over.
Yeah, that's Yusuke's every fight. But I love Yusuke. I love him as a character. I love his design. I really like it when his hair's down. I like him more when his hair's down than when it's slicked back.
Oh yeah, where it's kind of shaggy a bit.
Yeah. And the thing that blows my mind, which I know I guess is classified as a shonen, I guess, he's 14 years old. He's the most mature 14-year-old ever to exist.
Well, yeah, because his mom left him to fucking fend for himself.
Yeah.
All she does is lay there, smoke and drink, and barely even talks to him. He doesn't have a dad.
And then cry about not drinking, and then goes and drinks some more.
Yeah.
And then he dies, and she cries about it. Like, to me, the funniest part was that, because I guess you don't really know his character, and then he dies, obviously. And then he's got to go talk to his mom, and it's like a joke the whole time. Like, you get 3 people that you can talk to. He talks to her in her sleep, but then after that, it's just like, oh, she's going to be drunk. I can't talk to her.
Yeah.
Like, oh, she's off drinking. I can't talk to her. Like, they even made it a point to... He was, like, the night that he had to get the kids to be brought back to life. And his mom... never slept. She just went out and drank. And he's like, oh, she's drinking. I can't use her.
So obviously we need to pick Kuwabara, because Kuwabara is the most qualified and reliable person that in Yusuke's life.
Yeah, so that's also probably, like, that's my second favorite thing so far, is Kuwabara is just there. Like, other than, I guess, him being, I don't know, interested in fighting people, he's just there.
I like how
he exists.
Yeah, I love it.
And he's also got like a heart, a heart of gold, you know, because he's like, oh, like kittens.
Yeah, he said that. Which to me, like, I was like, okay, Yusuke's back. This is cool. And then that happens, and I think that's why I like him so much, because the guy's like, if you don't do what I tell you to do, I'm gonna hurt whatever his name is. And he's like, oh no, please don't hurt whatever. And I'm like, who is this person? Why are they so important? And it was a freaking kid.
Oh, that.
Looking glass bottle.
No, you don't know yet, man. You don't know yet. I'm thinking of a specific part later in the chapter Black Saga that I can't wait to discuss with you. But that time will come. That time will come. Don't worry about that.
See, watching all this stuff, I've realized I've seen it before. I guess I think it used to come on Toonami.
Yeah.
So I've seen bits and pieces of it. And
yeah. Watch like Yu Hakusho, and then I would watch Bleach later into the night. Then I would watch Inuyasha. I'm just like, it was a good night.
Yeah.
I was like so not used to staying up late, so it was kind of like a hazy dream, like watching all those shows, and a lot of those reruns with the English dubs from the 90s animes, like they kind of, you know how like the 90s lighting is kind of like faint, you know, like kind of
the line. the lines are so much different then than they are now.
Yeah, it really lent to that dreamy sort of aesthetic,
Yeah,
I
like
guess.
and Inuyasha fits it greatly. Like the faded kind of look.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the colors are kind of faded and the lines are more prominent.
It's
and not just
saturated, but it's dark and deep. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Hey, Spader and Wesker, have you guys seen or heard of
I
the
haven't-
Yu Hakusho OVA from 2018?
I haven't seen the new OVA now.
No.
It's actually 2 parts,
Mm.
and where the first part is how Hiei and Kurama first met, like before the beginning of the series.
God.
I'm actually interested because I wasn't a fan. Like Hiei is the character that obviously people think is cool. I mean, he is cool, but like he was in Jump Force, like, and all this other stuff. Like of all the characters, you put him in Jump Force. You add him in there.
Well, he's the dark and brooding and cool one.
Yeah, I think Hiei was also one of the characters they used for J-Stars when back in
Probably.
that collab
But-
game.
I didn't like him at all. Like I didn't know his character. I just knew like they obviously joined a team. You watch the opening and they're like together. And I actually remember going to Books A Million, and I would always read the Shonen Jump magazines.
Yeah.
And I remember reading through some of the fight in whatever tournament it is later on, and he was there, and I didn't know his character. I just saw him in a manga fighting. But when you first meet the little bastard, he's so annoying. I did not like him.
Yeah,
But
he's pretty much
within
like a.
episodes, he's a completely different person.
It's like a stereotypical thug enemy. Like, kind of just joins his party. It just develops from
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, he was literally just trying to take over the world and turn everybody into demons. And then Yusuke beats him, and then
He gets assigned to work with him because he's fucking indebted to Koenma or something.
yeah, he just joins, and then Kurama's like, "Oh, don't worry about him. He'll help us." And then Kuwabara just keeps calling him a pipsqueak, and he doesn't know what he can do. And then Kuwabara gets a man crush on him after he sees what he can do.
Yeah.
This Rando. Remember Rando?
No,
Who?
yeah, no, I do. But
I miss
Yeah.
Rando. But
Who's Rando?
Hiei
Rando's the first demon Yusuke
he
fought.
mastered 100 techniques.
Not the first demon, but like the first real demon.
Oh, do you mean the fucking guy he fights at the end of the Genkai training arc?
Yeah, which to me, I was disappointed because he didn't beat him.
That's
He
like.
literally won because he had swamp algae in his ear.
Didn't you get Yusuke get like shrunken down or something in that fight?
No.
Kuwabara got shrunken down.
Yeah, Kuwabara, and then he like broke his arm or whatever, and then Yusuke's like, "Don't do that to Kuwabara," and then he loses, and then the guy like remember he was like the I guess you'd call that a monk. I don't really know
Yeah,
what
Yeah.
he was called for.
he would
Kinda
steal
weird.
the appearance of, or disguise himself as people before he did the whole apprenticeship thing before killing the people.
Yeah, and then he would kill them and take their technique, and then he's like, remember, because him and Kuwabara played baseball with fireballs he was throwing at Kuwabara.
That was fun.
Yeah,
That was-
I forgot about that. Man, there were some good early moments that I forgot, like, because, I'm sorry, but these later arcs, I think they just overshadow all this early stuff. Because, you finished episode 22, right?
Mm-hmm.
Episode 26 is where the Dark Tournament arc starts, and a
Oh,
lot of
wow, that's close.
a lot of people call it the best tournament arc in anime ever. So get ready for
Oh.
that. Get ready for that shit.
I left off because I wanted to watch to a certain point. Like, for some reason, my enthusiasm was dying down during the Dark Tournament arc. I believe episode 50 was when Hiei did his famous Dragon of the Darkness Flame technique.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. I kind of watched to that point and I thought about it for a second and realized the tournament's been kind of going predictable. I don't think I don't think I've seen up to the part where Kurama
Predictable?
does. Yeah.
I don't know about that, man. I don't know if we were watching the same anime.
It's just like the way it's structured to where, because it's like a team thing, not for individuals. Because
One of the
Obviously,
first
like-
fighters is like a child with the yo-yos or something.
Oh yeah, I've seen part of that.
And Kuwabara
Another year ago.
won, didn't he?
I think Kuwabara beat his ass. Yeah.
Yeah, the Kuwabara beat the child. Man, I couldn't have seen that coming.
Well,
what-
it's like what Spader was mentioning. Spader was like, "Oh, I can't let this child get hurt." He beats a fucking child
He
later on.
killed a guy in one shot. Oh man, I never knew he could kill people in one shot. Oh.
Yeah, the whole okay, I really do like Kurama as a character. Like he's probably on my list up there, so I'm like really high.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It was just cool to me that, like, I guess that kind of broke. I guess watching it now, like at the time, it was probably just whatever, not really new.
He was
But
too
since I'm
feminine. Yeah.
And well, I'm watching this now, and he was a demon. That the whole story, he came to Earth, and then like his mom, and then he was like reborn or whatever, and he takes care of her, and that's the whole reason he was doing what he did.
He has an identity crisis between his human incarnation and his demon past.
Yeah, and he sticks to being human, and I'm like, it was pretty cool. I guess it was kind of like relatable, not really, but just seeing it was really cool and different.
Yeah, that kind of
And then
goes
you got-
places later.
He's like the protagonist of a completely different series because I think Kurama is just really interesting.
Yeah.
I like him a lot.
It gets even more interesting.
When he turns into a demon fox.
Oh, more than that. Like, just when you find out more about his backstory.
Oh. And I don't know why. I always liked his look for no reason. His hair was always cool, and he had like a rose whip. I'm like, wow, that's cool, rose whip.
Yeah. And
But he,
the demon form is pretty fucking sick when you see it
that's
goes
cool.
down the fox thing.
yeah.
'Cause I won't say what happens if you don't know what happens, but man, it gets cool.
Remind me of Sesshomaru from Inuyasha a little bit, just the design.
And Inuyasha, I'm gonna watch it. I don't know, but I'm probably gonna get around to that soon. Because after watching this, I just want more of this.
There's more 90s anime.
Yeah, like Cowboy Bebop, I'll probably watch it next because I haven't ever watched it.
Oh, wow. Not even a
Ever.
little bit?
No, well, just a little bit that was on Toonami because I think it was on Toonami too.
Well, that'd be a good time for me to watch it whenever you get around to it and you're done with the Yu Hakusho, because I need to watch it in full myself. I've seen a lot of it, but not, like, just sitting down straight through it.
Wait,
Did
so
you say?
Yeah.
Cowboy Bebop, yeah.
Oh, man.
Was Gurren Lagann in the 90s?
No.
Is that old?
2000s,
like-
probably.
Yeah, mid 2000s.
That was still a good time. Like, that was, I guess that style was kind of fading out then. Because there was a slight bit of CGI in it. It looked really good.
I have a very good opinion of Gurren Lagann as a whole,
Yeah.
but
I have like a 9 or 10 on my anime list.
it's I seem to like shows like they're the coming of age, like Shonen Story, with mechs. You know, I like those Gurren Lagann's, Eureka 7.
Yeah, we're all looking forward to the day we become men.
Evangelion.
I really like.
Oh,
Gurren
wow.
Lagann
Crack
did really.
the code, Wesker. That's what I find so relatable about it. I don't have my coming of age story yet.
Yeah, still working up.
I'm a giant robot.
Gurren Lagann did a really good job at just making you like the character.
I haven't watched it yet, believe it or
Oh my
not.
god,
Yeah.
you're gonna love it. You gotta watch it. You're gonna love it.
It's fun. If
And-
I can say anything else about it,
It was so fun, and the setting, like just everything about that, I liked. I wanted more of it, but it ended well, and I was okay with the ending. So
like you'll come out of it like watching it being like, all right, this is fun, they're all doing fun stuff, but then by the end of it, you're like, that was actually surprisingly deep look into like this character's story. And then it's what got into the whole it was a Gainax show, then Studio Trigger started making shows that are kind of like it, but in my opinion not as fantastic as Gurren Lagann never was.
So, did Studio Trigger branch off of Gainax? Or were
Yeah.
they okay? So there are people from one to another.
2007,
Yeah.
literally aired from April 1st to September 30th in 1 year.
Yeah, when you think about it, or if you think about it as hard as I do, which isn't very hard at all,
Oh,
think about Gurren Lagann as a show about drilling people, and then you think about Kill la Kill as a show about scissoring people. So
oh yeah, I watched them about the same time. And have you ever seen Kill la Kill, Wesker?
Nope.
I really liked Kill la Kill.
Now, granted, that one doesn't have as deep a story as Gurren Lagann.
No, it was very comedic, and I think whenever it was done, it kind of fits the mold of your basic, like your one season of anime that has a story that tells from start to finish, and it's very comedic throughout.
And it has the whole delinquent girl, which is apparently like I forgot what the actual term is for like the delinquent girl genre of anime.
A raging lesbian?
So that
Raging lesbian. It's just like there used to be there was a live action show from like the 90s or 80s, and that's a lot of what Ryuko's character is based off of.
the characters are so good in that show. So good.
We have so many shows about the delinquent anime guy doing
That's
Like Yu Hakusho, maybe?
Oh, yeah.
that was newer, like 2013.
What?
Kill la Kill.
I thought it was like 2011, not 2013.
Definitely last decade.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't
Anyway,
mean to jump back onto Yu Yu Hakusho, but I want to say, I think I really want to say this, but I really feel like Togashi sort of makes it up as he goes along, especially with the power scaling, because Hiei was supposed to be like one of the most dangerous criminals of the demon world, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he's fucking strong, but then like you get this other guy who's supposed to be stronger than Hiei or something. Or I don't think it's ever explicitly stated, but like the next villain is that 100 Techniques guy, but he's not shit compared to these 4 heavenly beasts or whatever.
Right.
But that's the 4 heavenly beasts are probably pretty big in mythology, and they're not shit compared to the Dark Tournament. And everyone who takes place in the Dark Tournament isn't shit compared to a lot of stuff later on in the demon world. So it's like. And like the Dark Tournament, as far as from what I understood, it's supposed to be like the biggest tournament in the demon world. So it's kind of like stuff doesn't exist until it's relevant, huh?
I like
The Dark Tournament where Genkai joins.
Yes.
Like,
When
because that got me as a kid. I was like, wow, this person's cool. Even though I knew who Genkai was, and I was like, I don't know who this is. Yeah, because I was a kid.
So, Wesker, let me ask you something as a fan of the show. Like, how much of an asshole do you think it was, like, after the Dark Tournament arc, where they were just like, that guy you just beat, the strongest guy in the series so far, he was just a B-class demon.
That's like my favorite thing in anime, actually. When that happens. When they're like, that fucking badass with all that fucking emotional stakes, like, riding on that battle and all that? Yeah, he was like 2 tiers below the top tier. And it's like, what?
Oh, is that why you like Bleach so much?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Is that why? Yeah, because the whole, like, when I was reading Bleach and Ulquiorra, that fight, I'm just like, holy shit, like, everything's hitting the fan, these characters are so cool, and then they get done, and then it's just like, oh, he's nothing compared to the next one, or he's nothing compared to Aizen, and I'm like,
fucking Ulquiorra, is like, wait a second, you're a 4?
Yeah. That's one where I'm just like, okay, I guess Hiei was at one point like an FFF class demon.
Yeah.
So what really
so strong.
This is probably my least favorite part about that whole arc, by the way. Yami.
Oh yeah.
I hated how they tried
so
to do that.
Stupid, yeah.
Every Espada above Ulquiorra was super fucking disappointing.
Yeah.
Everyone? Not just Yami. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think Halibel was.
I think she was
I
disappointing
think
because
there's
she
two big
lost
reasons why you say that, and
I
I
liked
still
her a
disagree
lot.
with them.
I liked her a lot.
I think I don't know how I feel about Toshiro being so strong at that point. Like maybe later, but
Well, it's not like his opponent was that much of a challenge.
she should have been. Like she's above Ulquiorra.
Should have been, but Ulquiorra was like
But
way more
Ulquiorra was.
intimidating.
Yeah, I don't understand why he. Didn't he have like a second form though? Like.
Yeah, he did.
Segunda
Was-
etapa, yes.
But he didn't even need it, so it's like, what's the
My
point?
thing is that second form, that factor into the power that made him number 4. I don't think it did.
Well, I believe that Aizen ranked him not according to Segunda Etapa, but I believe Aizen still was aware of it because during flashbacks when Aizen was talking to Ichigo, like, every battle up to this point, blah blah blah, was all according to Keikaku. I believe that the Ulquiorra's second form is shown in that flashback, which implies that Aizen did know about it. He just didn't care.
Oh. And who was the above him? Was it Death, like the Reaper guy above him too?
Baragon, yes, that is number 2. And Stark is number 1.
Oh, come on now. Stark was a badass.
I really like Stark, but the way he went out is both fitting a little, but also disappointing.
That was putting me to sleep.
Oh, by the way, Spader, I was going to mention about Yu Hakusho how he and Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z, they both got the same treatment to where they were just going to be like one-off villains, but they were just so popular.
Is that really what happened with Vegeta, though? I don't think that's really what happened with Vegeta.
You think he thought that far ahead with Vegeta and just kind of kept him around?
He really thinks 5 seconds ahead.
He definitely thought ahead to the Frieza arc.
Toriyama is a crazy bastard. Go on.
He thought ahead to the Frieza arc because Frieza was very prevalent in dealing with Frieza at the point. So, but that is the end of it, I think, because I don't think, like him doing his own thing and then he's like, oh, I gotta do whatever, and he's on Planet Namek. I think that was like the point his popularity picked up to where they put him in more. Because it gradually became less of his villain self and like more of a main character.
Which is kind of funny because I think if a lot of modern day Dragon Ball people were to see Vegeta, they wouldn't relate to his struggle like on Planet Namek or anything. They just think he'd be a weak piece of shit and wouldn't care.
Right,
But probably because they were young and impressionable, they care because of his struggles.
That or the games, they do a really good job at like covering the story. So,
right.
As far as Tenkaichi and stuff,
it's hard for the games to cover the relationship he has with his future son that he hates, and also with the Hitler that he served under.
Yeah.
But overall, I think Vegeta is very iconic.
All in all, the Broly movie does a really good job at retconning all of that.
And I love his pink shirt.
Yeah.
How it says "Bad Man" on the back.
Bad Man, yeah, and his khakis, yeah.
Yeah.
But that is not as good as his GT pants.
GT Vegeta is in a league of his own. He wears leather on leather, like.
And he had that mustache, man.
He wears that fake mustache.
He was a Freddie Mercury.
Novelty store mustache.
Yeah.
Like, if I can pick up a picture of him in a minute after I scroll through all this fucking Vegeta pandering from Super, where every time he looks like he's redesigned, it's just him with red or blue hair.
Okay, but
I like the red hair. It's cool.
The red hair is fine.
Nice touch.
Anyway, as you were saying, Wesker.
I forgot what I was saying. We're still talking about 90s anime? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah. So, another thing, which I'm really glad you brought this up the other day. Yu Hakusho, I had no idea that he also created Hunter x Hunter.
Oh yeah, Yu Hakusho made Hunter x Hunter, yeah.
I didn't know that. I just thought I watched Hunter x Hunter, and I guess because Brandon, told me to watch it one day, I started watching, I don't know. But it was good, it was cool, it was interesting, I liked it a lot. Actually, I liked it a lot more than I remember. That's why I kind of want to rewatch it after watching Yu Hakusho.
Yeah, Mr. Yu Hakusho, as we like to call him, Togashi. He, funny enough, we're still talking about 90s anime because the first animated adaptation of Hunter x Hunter was Hunter x Hunter 99. That started, of course.
So how soon after Yu Hakusho was that?
I believe. Let me look that up.
And I also want to know. You said something about why it was created and what happened to Yu Hakusho.
Yeah, I can't tell you the specifics of how the story ends, but Yu Hakusho, it is...
It's a banger.
Okay, so what I said and what is the truth is that Togashi wanted to deconstruct the characters to an extent, He wanted to take what he had in this typical shonen formula, and he wanted to really push boundaries. And you do get to see that some in Chapter Black Saga, and a little bit in.
I mean, you kind of see that during the whole when Hiei joins the fight.
You think so?
You start,
The
you
villain
really start.
joining.
Well, no, it wasn't the villain joining. It was the villain enjoying working with the good guys.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting Hiei to be such a bro.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I could see that with the camaraderie, because that mirrors Hisoka working along with the protagonists a little bit later in Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah. So remember, like the whole like Hiei does all of his stuff, and I guess Yusuke's kind of like not wanting to trust him for obvious reasons.
Because he's a
you know,
fucking villain who wants to
Yeah.
kill and murder. Yeah.
Well, all that happens, and then Hiei, I guess, helps them in that through the maze that they go through, whatever they call it, to fight the Saint Beast. And then Kurama like explains to them like what the turning point of all this is when you meet the ice dragon guy. He freezes the cat, knocks his head off, you know. And
Yeah.
then Hiei's like, he doesn't say anything. He does it all silently, but he walks over there and takes his cloak off and puts it over his head, like laying him to rest or whatever. And then he fights the guy. And then Kurama's like, yeah, he's changed man now. It was interesting.
I'll tell you this, Hiei. Like, the most notable thing I saw about him was he just really looked down on humans.
Yeah. Yeah, because he wanted to turn them all into demons. He's like, wow, this thing can even turn trees into demons.
Like, even Kurama was like a tough sell for him.
Yeah, he didn't like Kurama. And then Kurama bailed on him, so he didn't like Kurama even more.
I think you've still got a ways to go, Spader, to see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I got about another 3 weeks of this.
Like,
It's gonna be a good ride.
Togashi wants to distort his characters into becoming completely different people at a point, and make it organic as possible.
Yeah, but I see the start. Like, when you mentioned that, and then I saw this, I was like, yeah, I kind of see it. Like, it was the start of it, because, I don't know, and I guess that's why he is such a light character. Maybe he's just changed a lot by the time you're done with it.
Yeah. And I'm glad that you mentioned Hunter x Hunter. Oh, by the way, it ended, Yu Hakusho, the anime, ended in, let's see, December of 1994.
94. Oh,
That's when
sweet.
the anime ended.
So 94 was there, so he had 5 years to get Hunter x Hunter up and going.
Well, that was the anime. The manga probably ended, but probably around the same time. He did a sci-fi manga that wasn't shonen in between, and I haven't checked that out yet, but I'm interested in seeing what the bridge
What was the name of that? Because I saw that when I was looking into him.
I think it's like a number. Hold on. Let's see. Togashi Sci-Fi. Yeah, I think I'd like to read it sometime. It's called Level E. Oh, it's a sci-fi comedy, apparently. Didn't know it was comedy, but Level E.
Interesting. Yeah, and then I saw, like, reading into him, he's married to the... Did she create Sailor Moon?
Yes, he is married to the girl who did Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
So somehow this loops back into Chris Chan. A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Chris Chan.
really crazy that that the two are together, and I get they during Hunter x Hunter even talks about their honeymoon to Egypt, and
Oh, wow.
that was pretty cool. Another thing that, well, not another thing, but actually the same thing that I want to talk about is, like I said last episode, Gay Robot and I had a little bit of an anime exchange. And if it isn't what we're talking about right now, Gay Robot, would you like to talk about your current experience with Hunter x Hunter, the first 12 episodes of the 2011 anime?
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I was expecting to hate it like every other shonen, you know, aside from Bleach, because I fucking hate shonen. But it was fine. It was intriguing. I really hate the character designs, and I don't actually like the characters.
Yeah.
At all. Except for like maybe like the clown dude. He's kind of entertaining. He's kind of creepy. I don't know what it is about him that's bothering me, but there's something wrong with
yeah, you'll have reason to hate him enough. Don't worry.
him. Okay.
Magician.
So he's not like a good guy?
Well,
He's a rival character.
yeah, that's kind of hard to answer, actually.
Like, you see him in all the openings of 2011. It's just like the big thing about him is Gon's rivalry with him. Like, eventually they're gonna duke it out. You know, that's just what Hisoka wants.
I thought they didn't even know each other. It's like they met once in that wood place where he killed a bunch of people. He's like, you can go ahead and go. I'm doing a trial. And I was like, wait, what the fuck? Are you a judge or some shit? Like, what? Why are you doing that?
Yeah, he's not a judge. He's just being a dick. He's saying, like, I can do what I want.
That's what Brandon said.
Yeah, he's just saying, like, I do what I want to this fucking judge guy. The judge guy is like, you'll get disqualified again. But as you finished the tower, right?
Yeah, I just finished that.
Yeah, so as you've seen, he wants to kill some of the judges just for his bloodlust and his fucking murder boner.
Why don't they just ban him from the competition if he's been a troublemaker this whole
time? Yeah,
that's fine.
Like, the rules state that if you kill one of the instructors, you'll just fail for that year, but you can come back next year.
Yeah.
Did he kill one of them, or did he almost kill one of them?
He tried to kill one of them. He did not kill one of them. He tried to kill that guy that he did kill this year in the tower. And
yeah, he wasn't an instructor that year.
Yeah, supposedly they had the battle in secret, based on context.
What are you talking about? I saw him do it.
Yeah, okay. Okay, Brandon, did you report that to the Hunter Association? Did you call Beans and tell him what happened?
Talking about the guy that was throwing the swords around?
Yeah, the guy who was throwing the fucking the curved blades, and Ahsoka just fucking dodges and catches him and is like, oh, cute.
He sliced his head off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's like a ninja guy in there who...
But did you report it to the Hunter Association?
Why would I? They have people for that. They have hunters that hunt for information.
Well, they didn't see it. Why didn't you tell them?
Because I'm not a snitch hunter. I don't hunt as a snitch.
You're not a truth hunter, okay. But yeah, Hanzo. Yeah, you're talking about Hanzo Garobot?
I don't know, he looks like the bald dude from fucking One Punch Man.
Saitama, yeah. A little.
He seems kind of like he'll be a thing, because... And it's weird, because they had that one fat guy with the laptop who I thought, okay, he's going to be here for a while, and then they just, like, immediately erase him in the first episode, because he's a fat ass.
Hunter x Hunter is so weird. Hanzo is relevant for the rest of this arc, and then he disappears until after the anime ends. And now he's like a main character again, pretty much.
Like, why?
Here's a fun thing about Hunter x Hunter. A lot of characters get introduced to make an example out of, like, one character to where that they... It's not that they're being written out of the show. They are they are being convinced they no longer want to be in the show, and then they leave of their own accord.
Hunter x Hunter is very much about not forcing characters to be there for no good reason.
Yeah.
See, I got the impression that it would be like fucking Fugo from Part 5, where it's just like, oh yeah, we're just gonna write him out because I don't know what the fuck to do with him.
No, it's not like that.
If Hunter x Hunter was JoJo Part 5, Fugo would have been, like, killed. Like, immediately.
What was up with Ahsoka during that time, by the way?
He wanted to find some strong people and to fight them.
That was it.
Yeah, Hisoka is not a complicated character. He's horny to kill.
Which one's the clown, right?
But the creator of Tokyo Ghoul made a backstory for Hisoka, which
changes nothing because he's still horny about killing back then too.
If you look at it, because to guy, what the fuck is the creator's name? Please.
Mr. Yu Hakusho.
Mr. Yu Hakusho included that in his own manga, so I mean, we can only assume that either really liked it or
he didn't include it in the manga. He just considered it canon.
Oh,
he said he included manga. No, he didn't. I read all the manga so far up to date, and I did read that one. Was it a one shot or is it a dojin or what is it technically? I don't know.
Anyway, slap. All I wanted to say about that was Hisoka is very intent on seeing people. He himself picks up on everything really quickly, and that's just his favorite thing to do. He likes to see people just get stronger, and him himself get stronger.
I like Hisoka because I think he's the perversion of the shonen fantasy.
I like that he looks cool.
He's a lot of Goku.
He lives, exactly. He lives because he wants to fight strong people, but it's taken to an extreme where he gets an actual like sexual pleasure from it, and he just wants to kill people because it's like the highest form of combat for him. He wants to have a battle to the death.
Dark shonen character.
Does he come?
Epic. Yeah, you don't know about the orgasm scene yet. Okay. Swing.
Wait, he has an orgasm on the
Pretty
on the
much,
show?
yeah, pretty much.
Oh man, I gotta watch that.
Yeah, it goes places.
He's very powerful.
But yeah, it was him, and then the main character I liked. I liked his fucking fishing rod.
You like Gon?
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of like an Airhead version of 9S. Like he's a fucking dumbass.
Oh my god, that's a really good comparison because
it's like if Nines was a total fucking dumbass, like
Gay
or
Robot.
not even really stupid, just like kind of like out of it.
Gay Robot, do you mind some minor spoilers by nudging you a bit?
Sure, okay.
His story takes a very 9S turn.
Oh really? So it's like fucking Dimitri or Arthas, where he goes evil and starts killing a bunch of people.
Something. I won't say, but he does.
Like he himself is the dark part of shonen, to where they let their emotions get the better of them. Except, imagine if they did that for an entire arc.
I'll say
crazy.
this
I only made that comparison because I always make that comparison when seeing a Shada character, but I see it fits more than I initially thought.
Yeah, the blindfold fits pretty well. I will say though, whereas Hisoka is the perversion of the fantasy, Gon is like an example of what actually happens when you give a child this much power. Like, it doesn't end well.
He fights the mafia.
Yeah, well, no, they don't.
I know, I'm just saying that because it's random, but it's also not completely untrue.
They don't fight the mafia. They actually work more with the mafia than against the mafia.
Yeah,
They're actually on the mafia
Mafia's
side.
the good guys in this, aren't they?
Yeah, the mafia are technically the good guys in what happens during that arc.
How long do I have to wait until they get to fucking what is it? Australia, whatever the fuck, where
The
they all
Chimera
die.
Ant arc.
Oh.
Well, it's like the fucking weird place that everybody's freaked out about. It's like, oh, don't go there. It's
Oh, the
fucked
Dark
up.
Continent. We're not there yet in the manga.
Oh, see, that's a problem because it probably means it's never gonna happen.
Exactly.
Given, the guy who.
I'll be honest.
hated.
One of my favorite arcs happens to be the York New City arc, because it feels like a completely different show throughout.
Yeah, I think either you're gonna hate either you're gonna hate the York New City arc, or you're gonna love it. That's gonna be where it gets like all dark and gritty. It's like you're gonna hate it for trying too hard, or you're gonna love it for the flow.
But Great Island is
Trying too
definitely my
hard.
favorite. With York New City being like a close second.
The only anime I hated for being a tryhard was Evangelion.
Okay, then you're probably not gonna hate it.
Okay.
Call Evangelion a tryhard, but everything that came after Evangelion that was inspired by it, I wanted to say those are the actual tryhards. It's
Maybe. I mean,
Does it? What does it try hard to do?
It tries hard to be really fucking smart with its symbolism that it doesn't understand. Even the creator said, "Oh, we included these crosses and shit because they look fucking cool."
that's a lot of context just based on the imagery people were debating on. Like, if at the very end of the series, the tree of whatever actually had any symbolic meaning, and the creator's like, no, that specific instance where all those images are on the screen are just to make them look really cool because the world is ending.
Once again, funny you mentioned that, because in the York New City arc, there are crosses that do hold meaning. And something else that I picked up on, but I don't think anyone else has noticed, but we'll talk about that later.
Because you're extra big brained.
Yeah, I'm extra big brained. Like, I pump my brain full of brain juice.
Oh, so Lane is probably nothing to you. Damn.
Yeah, I eat that shit for breakfast.
Okay. Shit.
Yeah, stay in my lane. No, I got kind of confused when I watched the first 2 episodes.
That's why you gotta watch the rest of them to know what happens.
We need to sit through some Evangelion at some point. I just think the biggest problem with the series is its reputation.
It's on my list too.
Because people overthink that show a lot, and they also underthink it. And I'm just like, it's really simple.
You want to get in an elevator with me, Brandon?
Yes, I would love to get
Wait
in the
like
elevator
9
with
fucking
you.
hours, saying nothing. that's not even the only offender. It's like there was one scene I remember off the top of my head where it's like Shinji was about to go somewhere, like towards the end of the series. I think he's gonna fuck off finally.
He was about to go
and then
ghost.
Misato just like gets out of the car, stares at him for 9 fucking minutes because budgeting issues.
Sorry,
And-
what? Wait, what were we talking about?
Talking about Danny Phantom.
Evangelion.
No,
Yeah,
I
we're
mean,
talking
repeat what you said because I didn't quite catch the. that part.
So it's like one of the other scenes I was thinking of, kind of like the elevator, was Shinji's about to go somewhere. I think he's like gonna leave. He's gonna GTFO at the end of the series because he's fucking sick as shit. So Misato shows up at the train station and like stares at him for 5 hours, and they just fucking like leave or something. I don't know. That was just another example.
That was a very fast scene. That was like a whole minute.
Man, it felt like 50, but okay.
I'll say the thing about the elevator scene. As far as it's pretty simple. You know, they don't like.
Oh,
each
I know
other.
it's simple.
It didn't take very long to establish they don't like each other, even though they work together, like every single day for the past 6 months. I mean, you can kind of see it. You know, they have nothing in common. But in the rebuild, they take that elevator scene, and Rei actually initiates a very character development driven conversation with her that makes Asuka very upset because Asuka hates character development in her show. So they reuse that. They kind of rebuild does change a lot of things. It makes things more interesting in places where they may not have been very interesting before. Anyway, I'm done talking about Evangelion. I think it's overrated and stupid, and Eureka 7 is a really cool.
I agree.
Yeah, I also like Cowboy Z9. Great anime.
Cowboy Z9.
Yeah, the one from the 60s. That everyone likes here. Yeah, I like that one too.
I love cowboys and astronauts.
I love Trigun.
And Marines. On a
How
certain
come-
ranch.
So, Gabriel, I have a question for you. As someone who's seen Trigun talking to
Yes.
someone who has also seen Trigun,
Mm-hmm.
what is the Trigun?
Fuck, that's a really good question. I never thought about that. I guess it would be like part of me thinks it's like, okay, it's like Bleach, where it has actually no fucking meaning, and it's just a title he came up with, like, just pulled out of his ass.
Bleach
But maybe
actually does have a meaning.
My ass. But, I mean, Vash does have, like, 3 weapons that he uses. You know, he's got his revolver, he's got that machine gun, and then he's got his angel arm. So maybe that's what it's referring to?
I can only assume, even though it's never directly referred. Nobody ever says the word Trigun in that show.
I don't
Maybe
recall it
refers
being
to
mentioned in...
Wolfwood being his partner because he's got a gun.
Maybe
That
it
would be
refers to
quad
Wolfwood
gun.
actually being a child and a
Wait,
girl.
he has 2 guns?
No, Vash has 3, and Wolfwood has 1. He's
Wait,
got that cross.
I thought the
angel?
cross had a whole bunch of guns inside of it.
Oh yeah, he's got a bunch of like 1911s in there that he fucking uses too, but it's also like a big gun too.
Quindecum gun.
Yeah, fucking I don't even think like the title or the name Trigun was mentioned in the Maximum manga, so I don't know. I don't know if it was ever explained if that was a relevant title or not. I would just assume it's referring to Vash's arsenal.
I'm gonna get some
'Cause
water
it
real
feels-
quick. You guys keep talking.
I really like.
I mean, it feels like too specific to just be something that he made up.
Found it.
So-
The series is named Trigun because Vash has 3 guns.
Okay, I was right.
Good
And
job.
Bleach, you said doesn't have meaning. Apparently, it's like Kubo did the one-off before Bleach became Bleach. It was known as like, I don't know what its name was, but instead of swords they used scythes, and Rukia was the only character with a scythe, and everyone else used guns. And he was gonna name it Snipe, and then apparently he was like, "Wow, they all need swords instead of guns, so I'm gonna give them swords." And Shinigami are associated with black, which is why all the Shinigamis wear black. So he calls it Bleach. It's like a complementary color to black.
Complementary color.
Evoke the impression of the color white. As he
I guess
said.
that's where they got the idea to have Rukia carry that scythe in the 3rd movie.
Probably.
She does have one in that movie.
She looked really cool in that movie, all about the demons.
Yeah, she was actually like cool looking for once.
I like Rukia later on a lot more than when you first meet her.
I like Rukia, especially if you're gonna compare to like fucking Orihime. God.
I would say if there was no romance in Bleach and Orihime was not a character, I wouldn't have any problem with like Rukia being a relevant main character throughout the whole thing.
Well, I mean,
I don't even care. I don't care about the romance that people like so much because I feel
hate
like
that
the only
too.
reason Orihime is there to be somebody's sex doll because she doesn't really develop much.
No, she's barely a character. She's got tits. That's it. That's her character arc.
I don't know. Like she had one like later on. She played a pretty big part.
She got captured.
Yeah, and
She's a
then
useless
she
fuck.
literally turned.
She's got a great
Ichigo-
power, and she's such a dumbass. She doesn't know how to use it. So it's just like
Are you
wasted.
talking about Sakura? Oh wait, Orihime?
Yeah, sure.
I will say that I remember at one point, Spader, you were comparing Leorio to Sakura, where I can kind of I have a
I used to hate him
story
until I realize now.
where to where I can understand where that can come from. Where Leorio and Sakura, they're both medics in their respective shows, in their respective series, and they're late bloomers. You know, out of the like the main four characters, if you look at like Gon, Killua, Kurapika, and Leorio, and compare them to the cast of Naruto, which is Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi. You know, like obviously those are the ones that fall behind or need to catch up. At the same time, I feel like Leorio has not peaked yet. When Sakura did peak, and she always talks about it all the time.
Wait, when she peaked? When she cut her hair?
Oh man, that was that was pretty cool. But I want to say she peaked like the moment. The moment after Shippuden, like when Shippuden started, after the time skip, where Sakura and Naruto were working to get the bell from Kakashi.
And she's like, "Watch what I can do! Punch, 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 punch!"
And she was really cool in that instant. But then every fight since then, she just like cries. Like the fight against Orochimaru, she just sat there and cried. And then like when she was going to go confront Sasuke, she just sat there and cried.
Hey, you know what I gotta say? You better hope Leorio hasn't peaked yet, because he's on a boat to the fucking Dark Continent right now.
Is the manga still ongoing?
Yes, it's bad.
Allegedly.
We're on hiatus for over 2 years now.
So probably not, but
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god, what is that?
Leorio will fight if there is nobody that he needs to fight. Oh, I farted. Okay, so anyway, back to Leorio. He's fun. He's obviously motivated. He's motivated by his past. He's like, I could have saved my friend. Not he could have saved. I could have saved my friend if I had some cash, because the disease he had was really treatable. I can't even become a doctor, man. That shit's expensive. He tries to be like as far as like characters go in Hunter x Hunter, he's as close as a character with a good alignment as he can get.
Yeah.
He's not out for revenge.
He's the least selfish, but he's also the one probably most likely to use the world around him to get what he wants as well.
Yeah, like he's not selfish. He's not out for revenge. He doesn't have any bloodlust. He's like really caring. He's the heart of the group.
I would think the fish guy would be the best one, the goodest boy, but apparently that's not the case.
Oh no.
Oh.
The fish guy.
Okay.
Who are you talking about?
Fucking fisherman.
Are you
Go.
talking about Gon?
Gone.
The boy.
Gon.
Little boy.
Gone
Fishing.
Gone is very,
His dad's name is Ging instead of Ding and Dong.
It's Jing.
he's a ding dong.
It's Jing.
I will say, Gone. I like Hunter x Hunter because instead of like pushing the character's flaws off to the side, it puts them on like full display. Because you're supposed to like supposed to take in the flaws of all the characters in Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, but let's not spoil what happens later, Brandon. I know you probably don't intend to. Just
I know people are gonna say it's really controversial, because Palm was really attracted to Gon and all, but
yeah, yeah, and
we can't
it gets more fucked up too, because he's like, oh yeah, women have come to my island before. They love younger men, and Killua's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And we learned that Gon is like a real ladies' man back home, and like
it's like what? How old are you? Really Killua out.
That's as good as it gets when it comes to spoilers.
Okay, so this is probably spoilers, but I won't mention anything. Whenever he fights the ninja guy later on, I watched that fight recently, and that's in almost like the same exact thing happens when Yusuke fights Rando.
Except for one thing.
Yeah, but still. Pretty much the same thing. He gets his ass.
The most comparable thing, like, the most Hunter x Hunter thing in Yu Hakusho I've ever seen is that fight in Dark Tournament where they have the knives up to their heels. That is the most Hunter x Hunter thing I've ever seen. It's just stupid.
The most Hunter x Hunter thing I've ever seen is the battle against the Game Master.
Oh man, that must be something I haven't seen.
That's what I was referencing. It's in Chapter Black Saga, and Caleb will see what I mean when he gets there.
Yeah, probably tonight or tomorrow.
You're gonna watch all those episodes, man. I'm talking like episode fucking 60 something, probably. Way later. Yeah, Yu Hakusho. Yeah.
Bro, I'm telling you, like.
You're gonna blaze through it.
Well, it helps because I'm watching the dub, so I don't have to stare at my screen the whole time.
Right.
So I can like multitask. But last week I was cleaning the house. I just turned on the TV, and I couldn't help but sit there and watch it. I literally just sat there on my couch and vegged out and watched like 15 episodes.
Nice. I think the Game Master fight is one of the best fights in the entire series, and for a very good reason. It's not the fight itself, but it's the context and how it goes about. Not like I'm not talking about like the art of fists. I'm talking about like something a little more meaningful and what the fight means to people.
I like when Gon does really stupid stuff in the middle of his own fight.
Like lose bitches.
Just be like, I'm not satisfied with winning this fight. I'm gonna have to do a little better than that.
Well, yeah, he's fucking crazy.
He is a crazy man.
I have to rewatch this because I don't remember any.
If you remember it, one of the earliest fucking warning signs is when after Hisoka confronts them in like Swindler Swamp at the very beginning of the Hunter's exam, like after they're running away, he's like, "Man, I'm scared for my life." It sure is exciting.
Yeah, it's just like, here, take this thing back. I don't want to be indebted to you. And it's just like, bro.
He hasn't got there yet.
Oh, okay. Right.
So so I think what you said earlier that Gon was like a good guy. I think you're just mistaken that. Like, I feel like he was. I can't remember the word I was trying to use. Like oblivious or.
He's naive. He's a child.
Yeah, naive. That's good. Yeah, that's what I was meaning. Yeah, that's all it is. It's not that he knows good or bad. It's just he was on this island and.
Put simply, he likes people that helps him and makes him feel good, and he doesn't like people that don't help him and that makes him feel bad.
So he's just like fucking Chris Chan?
That's a good comparison. Yeah.
Wow. Gon actually has game.
Yeah.
Well, Chris Chan, no, he does. I was gonna say he does in his comics, but he gets cucked there too, so he really doesn't have any game.
Gon, he'll actually, he can go on dates with boyfriend-free girls that are older than him even.
Oh,
he's like a Christian power fantasy.
Yeah, except he doesn't have a medallion.
Like bad in a sense, because like characters like Dimitri and 9S, I ended up like agreeing with. So like, is it going to be a case where it's like I'm just going to agree with him anyway and not give a fuck?
I don't know. I guess it depends on your moral lines, but I think I think it's not exactly bad what he does. Well, actually, there's one specific thing.
It's when you compare him to Killua, because Killua, really just
That's the
doesn't
edgy
join
guy
it.
with the white hair, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the
that
white
is
hair.
the murderer child.
Yeah, he becomes like
Hey, rip
the
somebody's
more
heart
down to
out.
earth, relatable good guy, and Gon just kind of is
Hey,
becomes more.
let's let Gabriel get into it himself.
All
Time.
right, sorry.
We don't want to just
Mr.
tell
I'm
him
gonna
everything.
spoil the entire
Oh, yeah,
series
it's
for
just
you.
like when I look at Killua, like when I was thinking back and when I first watched the show, I did kind of write him off as like a one beat, 2 beat character, whatever.
I'm pretty sure he's intentionally shown that way so he can so when stuff happens it can.
Yeah.
And then it shows why Gon was just okay with him being a murderer.
Yeah.
Like if you remember, he's like, wow. It's like, hey, my parents are assassins, and he's like, wow, both of them. And Killua was like, ha, that's a funny answer. And he's just cool with it.
Yeah, it's an interesting little show. I'm glad Wesker made me watch it because there's no way in hell I would have checked it out on my own.
Yeah, it's maybe not. Well, the manga's a fucking wacko jacko. Have I shown you guys that fucking manga cover where it's just them like pencil drawings with guns and shit?
I think so.
Yeah, hold on.
Oh, by
okay.
the way, yeah, I remember you mentioning it, and I saw a little bit of it. How the manga, it doesn't always have consistent quality.
Yeah. So Togashi, he frequently gets sick, and he's probably sick right now. But what happens is he is stubborn and he refuses to get any help. So he'll draw when he's sick and it'll just come out shitty. And there was one chapter apparently so bad that he had to actually redo, I think, for the manga itself, like not just the releases, but like the volume release. And that was pretty bad the way I read it. But this is an official Hunter x Hunter cover.
And I remember.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, what the hell is he
crazy.
doing? Yeah.
I wanted to hurry up and finish Chimera Ant art before the anime aired the rest of it. And when I was reading the manga, I'm like, oh, this is the point in the manga where the quality dipped. Oh man, the later parts of the Chimera Ant art, you just see like a lot of scribbly scratchies.
Yeah, and at the that one chapter I'm talking about is actually the very end of the Chimera Ant arc. Specifically the one with the koala guy, where he's telling his story.
Yeah, I was like, is this the same series? Did I click on something else? I'm like, no, this is it. This is the end of the Chimera Ant arc, and these are the characters that I was expecting to see at the very end. I didn't even put it together until I saw Gon on screen. I'm like, oh god.
Yeah.
Like he couldn't get the spikes in his hair right.
Hunter
Okay,
Hunter
this is
has
good.
very varied manga cover.
Is that his tongue or is that fire? Because at first I thought it was a
I
condom.
think it's a rose or something. I don't know.
That was a condom hanging out of his mouth.
Oh, it's just fire. Yeah, it's fire.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Who drew this?
Togashi.
Oh shit, I'm sorry. Sorry for what?
God.
Our daddy told us not to be ashamed of our dicks. Especially since they're such good size and all.
What's his name? Yorupi? Yuppie? That guy over there?
Monto Yuppie.
Yeah, Monto Yuppie. Anybody tell him about how many abs you're supposed to have before it gets too much?
Hey, he doesn't have too much. Remember, he can morph his body. So
That's true.
he can just keep on putting on muscles. Those are
Too many abs? You clearly are a man who has never seen fucking Fist of the North Star.
Or goddamn grappler Baki.
I'm reading here, it even says that the guy that made Jujutsu Kaisen it was very influenced by Togashi and inspired by Yu Hakusho and on.
I'm glad to hear that because I think it's starting to show a little bit in what I've been watching. So I'm happy.
That picture, they're all in the desert, and you see cats.
Yeah, even though they've never been to the desert altogether, especially not in that part of the manga. But
Get it? Because what's his face went to Egypt. Togashi went to Egypt.
yeah, it's a little homage to his honeymoon because fuck it, he does his fucking covers the way he wants to, I guess. This like I was saying, We're talking about why Yu Yu Hakusho like ended, and it's because he was burnt out because he couldn't deconstruct his characters. So he made Hunter x Hunter with the agreement with Shonen Jump that he could do it any way he wanted to, and so that's why you get all this stupid, crazy shit, like with the covers and his story is just off the rails.
Here's hoping he doesn't come up with another idea that he really wants to do and decides to just fuck off of this.
Yeah, because I really want to see where it's going. It's going somewhere really interesting right now, actually.
It's like a Japanese George R.R. Martin.
I don't know about Song of Ice and Fire.
I don't either. I just know that people have been waiting for a very long time for something they haven't gotten yet. After a disappointing last.
He's too busy talking about his own works to actually continue writing them.
He's probably just has it done. He's just like, as soon as I start going broke, I'll just release it and make more money.
I love that fucking South Park episode about it. It's like, there are dragons coming.
I do like when, as far as like manga covers go, where the main cast is shown doing something that never actually happens in the show itself. I like when Naruto or Dragon Ball did that, where the creators would draw them in settings that will never take place in the show itself. It's just really interesting looking art.
Yeah.
Like, Spider, you know what I'm talking about with Naruto, right?
Yep. There's a whole art book with that, by the way. It's just cool stuff.
I do appreciate that. I like Bleach's like fucking fashion model bullshit.
Yeah, they do that just like and it's I guess it's a comic book thing, because like in American comic books they do stuff like that too.
Like, when is Goku ever going to be riding this dinosaur with goggles on?
Yeah,
Right now.
like and they do that a lot. Like when you when I would read everything online, like chapters weekly, like there would always be just some weird, like, I guess it was just the artist, like most likely just practicing drawing the characters, just drawing them.
Yeah, just flexing his muscles a bit and working it.
Yeah.
Like when Naruto always has a scroll in his mouth, in like every way he's depicted, even though that never actually happened.
Naruto's covers, like, to all the mangas are really cool. Like, not all of them, but a lot of them are really cool.
I remember this one as a kid.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's fucking
Like, and that
Sasuke
was
playing a flute.
Yeah, I guess. I guess he's like.
Yeah, look at Sakura's giant ass axis. Come on, man.
Yeah, she never gets those
Her
axes.
iconic, massive barbarian axes. Yeah.
Dude, she'd be so much of a better character if she had those.
Yeah, actually.
These are actually two of my favorite. Another cool thing was Naruto, like, they would always release, I don't even know how to explain it, but they would do, like, Volume 42, which, can I say this much? Volume 42 would be something, and then 43 would be something that mirrored it. I like the covers.
Well, as I was saying, Garobot and I had a little bit of an anime exchange. I got into Hunter x Hunter a little bit. And on the other side of things, I watched Death Parade. And I do
Kuma
quite
Parade.
Yeah, I do quite like that art. Very 90s. The stupid hats.
I like the mechs. Because, like, the guy that does the One Punch Man manga also has a weird fascination with mechs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I still recommend reading the One Punch Man manga, not so much the webcomic. But as you were saying?
Yeah, Death Parade. Where do I even want to begin?
You start, because I've got actual bulletins that I need to tab out and list off.
Okay.
So I got quite a bit
First
to
off,
say about it.
I really enjoyed it. Got me emotional a little bit. Emotional enough for me to, like, I need to actually start watching One Piece, but I'll talk about that later. To, like, you know, to cleanse my palate of the zest of death. The first thing I wanna ask, because it's been on my mind and I actually kind of looked into it.
Okay.
Do you think the jellyfish has any significance?
Probably. I just thought they looked cool, though.
Yeah, because at first I was like, yeah, jellyfish are nice
So
in the
it's like-
aquarium, but the
I know
chandelier is
that
shaped like them too.
I know the old Japanese over there. They got a thing with jellyfish. They were featured in the ending credits of Yume Nikki, and I don't know if it. Okay, do you guys mind for Yume Nikki spoilers?
No.
Is this Future Diary?
Yume Nikki, no.
This is a yandere anime, right?
No, that's
No.
this isn't an anime. This is a RPG Maker game about.
It's a
girl who has bunch
yandere
of
game,
weird
right? With 4
dreams.
elements.
Yeah,
No.
Horror Elements.
Yeah, okay, sure. That's it. So she
go
kills
ahead.
herself in the end. And then there's jellyfish. So it's like, and then at the end of Death Parade, it's, the last episode's called Suicide Tour for a reason. So
Yeah.
I don't know if it's got something to do with that.
Well,
But then again, they were there from the beginning, so who knows? I don't fucking know.
I don't know about the Japanese significance, but one thing I was thinking of is being arbiters, like, what's her name? What's Nona?
Words so easy.
Yeah, Nona, she is like at least like over 92 years old or something, however long she was a manager there.
Yeah, at least.
I was-
Deckham's 5.
I would assume arbiters are, once they come into existence, eternal to some extent. So
I think it's based on if they're, if they outlive their usefulness or whatever, then it's like, fuck. Otherwise, they'll just keep doing what they're doing.
maybe
That's what
so.
I think, at least.
What I was looking into, because like when I see jellyfish and like in the context of death, I think of like that immortal one, So like I tried looking into like an immortal jellyfish because I'm not sure if it's a single species or multiple, like a whole slew of species that are able to continuously live past an expected expiration date. But the jellyfish in the tank kind of look like it, but they don't have the pink center, and that could, I don't know if maybe they're going for that, or if it's a stretch, or...
Immortal jellyfish are a thing.
Yeah.
I'd have to go and look up what people said about the Yume Nikki ending, because it's probably the same thing.
Yeah. Okay.
But I know it's got some sort of significance. I don't know if they cared about it or not. I hadn't looked into any interviews on it yet, or what their... Oh my fucking god! What is that? Holy shit!
What?
What the fuck just happened? I was
Terraria.
planing some ropes down because I'm doing mining in Terraria, and then all of a sudden, I caught on fire.
Oh god.
And now the rope's burning.
Brandon knows the feeling.
Pray for
I
another
hope-
flood.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for right now.
So they begin life as free-swimming larvae. And then the larva becomes polyps on the seafloor. Jellyfish bud off the polyps, reverts back to polyp form if exposed to physical harm. And they can repeat indefinitely.
Okay, so it's
So-
probably got something to do with eternal cycles or whatever.
So do jellyfish even, like, have a brain?
I don't think
I-
they have a brain technically.
I think they're
and
just
they
like a bunch of nerve cells, so I don't
Yeah,
think...
they
we
basically just follow the currents.
Because I tell you, man, jellyfish are like the most important factor to Toriko because the gourmet cells are harvested from jellyfish, and that's what gives them all these superpowers.
Alright, so there's some sort of Japanese significance, I'm sure. With this fucking
I mean,
jellyfish
they're a
motif.
fucking island, so I'm sure they've got some significance with sea creatures.
So
Yeah.
is SpongeBob Japanese?
Yeah.
You know, their
Jellyfish
tentacle
fields.
porn and all that.
Yeah. Electrifying. Ooh, okay. So, another thing I wanted... Well, actually, before I get into the main series, I want to just say I also enjoyed Death Billiards.
Yeah, that was really good. That really was reminiscent of the Twilight Zone episode that it was apparently inspired by. Very creepy, kind of weird. Declan
Alright.
was a little bit off. At
Yeah.
least I thought he was, and then he's like, okay, no, now he's pretty normal. I was surprised. Are you fucking kidding me? Not a lot of stuff actually changed from that 2 years. That
it
they were working
felt
on that.
like a canon episode. It was very...
Yeah, it really did. I'm surprised they didn't. God fucking damn it! I'm surprised they didn't. I don't have Tourette's, by the way. I'm just getting my ass kicked.
It actually makes me wonder, like, if it could be considered canon, because we saw that actually the old man's wife was the old lady.
I saw that. Who played fucking cards with Chiyuki or whatever the
Yeah,
fuck her
old
name
maid
is.
on episode 11 or whatever, or 10.
Yeah, and apparently he did some bad things, but that was pretty cool. I was surprised they did not re-air that with the other series, because it was just another episode of Death Parade.
Yeah, okay.
I was expecting it to be like this weird proto thing, kind of like the Half-Life 2 beta, where
the characters were
it's
like different.
recognizable, but it's very fucking different at the same time. You're like,
Yeah.
oh wow, look at all that shit that's changed.
Like it's
But no,
almost like a knockoff.
kinda,
If it wasn't made by
Just
the
like-
same people, yeah.
or it's like, I don't know what I was expecting.
It's like a Chinese bootleg. So there are
I was
actually
expecting it to be different though. That's my point mainly.
there are two problems that I kind of had with it though, the pilot episode, and one of them you kind of already went into a little bit. But first, I want to talk about my first problem. Well, actually, you went into both of them a little. My first one was I felt that Deckham sort of reacting the way he did. Like I felt it was a little forced, but I guess it was to help get
Which
the premise.
reaction? Because he had like 2 gears in that fucking episode.
Where like the guy was like, you know, having the whole spiel about being alive, and he like gasped or whatever. I felt that felt a little forced, but at the same time, I suppose that was necessary for the like the pilot premise, you know.
It's fine. I was really expecting them to actually go the Twilight Zone episode because Deccan was pretty fucking cold towards the start of it, and then he just randomly was being, not sociopathic. So I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird, but all right.
And the second problem I had was sort of the vagueness of the situation. First off, I want to say, I want to say at that point in planning that they actually hadn't decided on the whole reincarnation and void thing because they never mentioned it after the fact. So they very well may be having a heaven or hell kind of thing instead of
The
reincarnation
first
and void.
episode of Death Parade was significantly better in terms of explanation and all that shit and story just than Death Billiards, and I think it's just because they actually knew what the fuck they were doing at that point. Not
Yeah.
to say that Billiards was incompetent.
It was very entertaining, but my second problem is that it was left too open at the end, where I feel like they could have given one more detail, either detail of the two questions I had. And of course, the first being is, what did the old man say? And the second...
I like that they left that ambiguous, but continue.
Well, the second is, like, where they were sent, because we can't say for sure that one was sent to the other. I know you want to say that the faces...
Yeah, it's the faces. I mean, that was proven to be significant in the fucking series when when you saw where the red face leads to. It's like, it leads to the void.
Yeah, but like I was talking about with the heaven or hell thing, this is the pilot. It could not be. We can't exactly take what's known in the series to be fact for the pilot. Like it could still.
Why not? I mean, it's literally just an episode that probably takes place at some point during the series. Not much is different.
Well, because it could still be in conceptual stages where things aren't decided yet.
Well, I mean, it's conceptual, but what does that matter? Like, we already got Death Parade, which explained all that.
And another problem, I guess a problem I have with the entire series in this case, that wouldn't have been a problem, I guess, if they decidedly left it vague, like for every decision after the first one.
Yeah.
Is, like, okay, so where they go, when they go away on the elevator, right, it indicates where their final destination will be, but, what about them coming in? Shouldn't I don't know, like the masks are still technically there. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm just being kind of nitpicky, but
Actually, I think they're different elevators, because if you really pay attention to when they enter the bar, the elevator doors are like chrome. They're blank as fuck, and you never see the top of them. But if you at the end, they show the elevators, and the red mask has the red doors, and the white mask has like black doors. I think they might be a different location there. The layout of that place is confusing as fuck because they present so many different like rooms and fucking antechambers and shit where they do their games.
Yeah.
And there's like a third elevator somewhere that I think is like a secret passage or whatever the fuck. Nona will come in there out of fucking nowhere, even though there's like no exit because characters constantly look for a fucking exit and they never find one. So I have no idea what's going on with the actual layout of that place.
I guess it has to shift according to either perception or, or physically shift around. But it's interesting that Billiards wasn't a game in the full series. However, I can't remember his name, but the old guy with the glasses is another old guy with the glasses, and he's playing billiards. That's his, that's his pastime. That's a neat little transfer of that pilot episode, I think.
I don't blame them for not recycling that because they already did it in Death Billiards.
Yeah.
I just kind of wish that the games were more Actually, I have this on a bulletin. Let me go ahead and open those. Where is it? Yeah, the games were not as imaginative as I may have wanted them to be. They always... I guess I get the point, and because they kind of showed this with Ginty, where he has his own little habits with the games, and then Decim, it's always about, like, causing pain to internal organs.
Yeah.
But I kind of expected them to get more creative with it, and they kind of did, but the result was always the same. The consequences, you know, getting, like, your fucking spleen poked out was, in every game.
I like the pacing and the intensity, the intensity of the different episodes, because after that first session, like, it was like, oh man, that was pretty fucked up. Like if every episode was like hitting that hard, I feel like it would be fatiguing, and I would just like get really numb really fast to it. Like, it wouldn't be impactful. So I like that the second game was actually like really chill and nothing was going on. Of course, I love the old lady game at the end. It's very nice.
I really fucking hated that second episode, and that kind of leads me into some of the shit that I've got
Wait, the
listed
second episode
here.
or the third episode?
The second episode.
So the explanation one.
Yeah, didn't you just say second episode?
I meant third. I said the
Okay.
second game.
Yeah.
With the bowling.
Death Parade had a really interesting problem in that it did something that Cowboy Bebop tried to do, where, like, Cowboy Bebop was mainly episodic, but it had two-parter episodes, one in the middle of the series and then one, like, at the end, that deal with, like, Spike and shit.
Yeah.
And that transition was fine. They did it well there. But in Death Parade, it was really jarring, and it was... I don't know why they made, like the fucking Heart of Darkness episode where they got the two murderers in there. Why the fuck did that have to be 2 episodes? We could have had another episode that focused on some other shit. And I feel like it also took away from a lot of other stuff in the series. One of the biggest problems that I had was...
I think the episode got 2... I think that game got 2 episodes, was because that was a pivotal point in Decim's development.
It was, but you could have done that in, like, 1 episode.
Also, I'm sorry, this is probably, this may be a little weebish of me, but my favorite moment in the entire series, I think, was just when the ending song kicks in that second episode for that game.
And why the fuck did the second episode have to be a recap? You could have done that in 5 minutes and done another game.
Well, I think it's not too bad, because it's like her getting the ropes of her new job.
But she didn't do anything. There's another bullet. There's my third bulletin right there. Chiyuki was like the worst fucking character because she did absolutely fuck all until the ending.
She
like,
doesn't do much. Yeah,
she
like
didn't do anything. There were whole episodes where I forgot who the fuck she was or where she even was at. You could have done all of this show with just Decim, and it probably would have been fine.
From what I'm aware of the plot, Nona placed her there to be like a sort of chaotic variable in Decim's experience with these people, to gradually nudge him over time, rather than
I don't
like
even
set
know
him
if
off
she
real
thought
quick.
that far ahead, because she was just as confused.
That's actually
as he
something
was.
else I wanted to talk about. What the fuck is the connection with what's the child thing called?
Huh?
You know, the child storybook.
I don't know what it's called, but I know what you're talking about. It's like a little picture book that Chiyuki had or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. What is the Nona connection with that?
I didn't know there was a connection with her there.
Okay, Nona has the picture book in her weird garden place.
Yeah.
And she frequently
read it.
And she even, you know, in the pilot episode, you know, the what is it? The random board, you know, the random board where they choose the game. It was,
okay, I know.
And
I know
they
you're going
change
with
it mid-series as well. Nona commands them to change it mid-series to that. But what are you saying?
They never explain that shit. And
Yeah.
this was actually a point that I was leading into earlier. The world building makes absolutely no fucking sense here, because they drop hints to so much shit going on in the background, and they never explain a fucking sentence. Like,
Yeah,
they never
like-
explain any of it. It's almost like they were trying to do like a Serial Experiments Lane thing, where it's, we're gonna leave this plot largely up to interpretation, but they failed in the execution part of it, so it's just really confusing. It would be like if you had the first season of Bleach, right up until the end where Byakuya and Renchi show up and they fuck everything up, condense it down into 12 episodes, and then just leave it like that and do nothing else with it. It's really weird. I don't know why the fuck they did that. And another show that is kind of similar to Death Parade is Hibane Renmei, which was made by the same people who made Lane and Technolize. It was a part of a spiritual trilogy between the three.
Yeah.
It did a lot of the same things that Death Parade did, but it didn't go crazy with the world building, and when it did have like shit going on in the background, it was stuff that you could infer pretty easily. It didn't bite off more than it could chew in that regard, and there were some areas of Death Parade where I'm like, why is this even in the fucking show? Why did we have why is the flower guy even there if he does fucking nothing?
Flower guy.
The guy with the fucking flower that he would wrap around, like, he wrapped around the
old
elevator
man
dude's
I
head.
was talking about.
Yeah. Who was playing pool in the fucking...
Okay, and what is the mention of God, like, too bad God hasn't been around lately or whatever. Like that's the world building thing, and I've been wondering I have so many questions that literally can't be answered. And
Yeah,
there's nothing to speculate. I think the problem isn't that there are no answers, but the problem is there's no material to speculate with, you know?
Oh, that's the issue with the execution, because, like, you know, it comes down to, like, the Alien or the Aliens debate. You know, Alien as a movie didn't really explain shit, but because it left all these hints and shit, and it explained itself relatively well, no matter how vague it was, you could infer shit, and the stuff that it did establish was not really relevant, because the whole point of that movie was like, oh yeah, you got this mysterious alien. He's scary because he's mysterious, and he's gonna fuck your day up. That's really all you need to know.
Yeah, the problem here
Aliens
is that there's no
explained it.
room to discuss anything, because
There's none.
there's nothing to
And
pick up on.
It's hard to describe, because, like, I see shows that do that, and they're really good, like Lane, and then this one just tries the same thing, and it doesn't work, and I don't know what's missing here exactly. But, like, they establish weird shit like, oh, there's a really high death rate per day for some reason.
You know
How the fuck are you managing all of these people anyway? Because one of the things that was established, like episode 2, was like only a certain amount, I think, of people go there, like specific people go to get judged, and the others like filter through this automated system. But then other episodes, it implies that there's a bunch of arbiters working on this shit. And I'm like, where are they? Because this place is desolate as fuck. You've got this huge complex with fucking nobody around. Decim, like, in the episode where he fights Renji looking ass, Nona shows up, and Ginty, and Nona shows up, and he's like, oh hey, it's been a while since I've seen you. It's like, are they just going around in this, like, just the farthest reaches of this place without any contact with each other, no management, just doing whatever the fuck
I think
they want?
a lot of time passes between
definitely. I think it was
episodes.
established as like 3 months or so.
yeah.
Or maybe I'm talking out of my ass. I don't know. I think there was probably like some time skip shit, but again, it's like, it doesn't explain why that place is so desolate when they've got such a huge workload, and it's so fucking massive. Why are there trains? Where do they go? Why is there an outdoor area? Where the fuck is this place?
Yeah, because I feel like, this might sound stupid, but I feel like what would actually just fix a lot of the problems is literally dragging the series out just for more, like, in-between scenes with characters like Nona and the old man with the
What they really
flower.
need is like an OVA, like a Bleach movie or something like that.
You
you know,
mean that
like,
just
they had those-
explains everything?
No, not like that. Something that's like,
Like a follow-up?
I don't know, like, part of me says just leave it alone because it's fine anyway. Like, I gave it a 9 out of 10 for a reason.
I actually just dropped it from a 9 to an 8.
Why? It wasn't bad. It was
I don't know. The nitpicker in me, like, kind of just obsesses over, like, the little things. And,
A lot
like,
of that stuff didn't bother me, or, well, it was noticeable, but the rest of the show was really good, so it made up for it.
I was, the entire series, I was kind of hoping for an answer to, like, why Nona had the, like, Chomsky or whatever the fucking name is, like, the picture book, and, like, how that related her to Chiyuki, like, if they had any deeper significance, or if she just knew about it and read about it or something, but no. And like you
Probably
said,
what it was is probably just mundane shit. I don't think she was some Eisen mastermind that planned, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna wipe this bitch's memories. I'm gonna fucking I'm gonna plant her like a fucking sleeper cell in the Quindecum, and we're gonna see what the fuck happens with this weird little experiment. I think it was just a coincidence there.
But yeah, I think
But-
the old man's plot did go nowhere because he fucking sucked Pearson guy's fucking memory, fucking his
Calvis, I think was his name. Clavis.
Yeah, Clavis.
The elevator dude.
He sucked Clavis's fucking experience
Brains
out.
It's like fucking Starship Troopers.
Yeah, and like
And then
he was about to fight her, and
yeah, he was
then
about to kill her ass.
she
And then they
tells
were like,
him, and he's like, "Oh, okay, don't do that."
he's like, why are you doing that? He didn't even tell her not to do it. He was just like, why do you want the Arbiters to feel pain? And I can't remember what she fucking says. And he's like, yeah, okay.
That's a
Come by
pretty
and
good
play pool with me.
impression of that guy. I can't do it.
The fuck? If he wasn't in it, it probably would have been a little bit better because I was really expecting him to do some shit or like try something. He didn't do anything,
Well-
even though he was built up to like, okay, it's kind of weird, you know.
Yeah,
he's
he
got
was
this
implied to
weird
be
flower
above
on his
Nona.
head.
Yeah.
Well, he was said to be the second in command.
What? I don't remember
next
that.
to God. Yeah. I can't remember which episode that was established in, but yeah, he's head honcho there.
He did
pretty
say
much.
he was pretty much God, but I think that was just him flaunting. Also, his eyes were different than everyone else's, which I
Yeah,
think
they
was-
were. Let me look up this guy real quick.
And there
Let me
were a
see.
few scenes where it just focuses on his eyes, like dilating, and it's very. It wants you to know that his eyes look that way. You know, they're kind of
See.
like cat eyes. They're kind of
His
demonic.
name is Oculus.
Oh.
It's like you got him. You got the
Once
chick
again,
with
the
fucking-
eyes.
with the dragon on her head, the dragon thing,
Dragon.
who drops weird shit. Like you've got all these different locations established.
Oh,
and-
you mean the girl working on the chair thing and the blood place?
Yeah, that weird chick who's in it for like a hot second, and again, none of it goes anywhere. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, and
It's
Quinn
not that I was
shows up.
lost. It's just I'm like, what the fuck are you people even doing?
I feel like
What
there
is all this
just.
background shit?
I feel like there just needs to be more Death Parade, and I definitely would not hate that.
I feel like it would ruin it though. That's my main concern because
You
Death
think
Parade
so?
in of itself was really good. Like, the fuck, it was a stellar show on it.
I think it was tight, but I think it was too tight.
What do you mean?
Like I
I'm
feel
gonna
like
go get ice cream. I'll be right back.
okay, Brendan.
Have fun.
I feel like it was like I feel like it didn't have enough room to give all those extra details that would have helped paint the full picture.
It would have helped if they didn't do that. If they had just,
They needed to
Even-
give plenty of time to the actual death games.
you could have literally just focused on like the Quindecum and fucking.
It just
Decum
said fuck it up,
Yuki
fuck all
doing
with the background
doing
stuff.
the games or whatever, and maybe like Ginty's around just to establish, yeah, there are at least other arbiters here. This place isn't like a fucking desolate void, even though it looks like one even more so the more you see of the place and how empty it is.
Okay, so I think the desolate void thing kind of adds to it, with it being sort of like a somber. You know, it's a place for the dead. You know,
But it's like,
but then again, like the opening is like completely opposite of that. You know, it's kind of
it's implied that the arbiters are overloaded with souls coming in every day. So it's like, where's everybody doing all this work? Why don't you make more of them? Because Nona just randomly made Decum as a little experiment, as a little pet project.
Yeah, and then like it's also confusing because arbiters are made from souls from the void or something. They said like a single time randomly as like
They
a
ever-
throwaway line.
Did they ever even go into how arbiters are made?
Like briefly, like for a second, and it's like, hold on.
I just
What?
thought the only thing I remember was Nona saying, "Yeah, we make them,"
Then it's like,
and that was it.
then I gotta ask like, how similar are these orbiters to the original souls? Like, do they share the appearance, any of the personality quirks? Because even though they don't have emotions or whatever, it's sort of like Kingdom Hearts and Nobodies. Like they clearly have imitations of personalities.
That's another confusing point because Ginty's a fucking asshole. All right, and last time I checked, anger and assholishness were both emotions.
Yeah.
So it's far, and Nona has emotions. So it seems like it's literally just Decum who's kind of like a blank slate.
Which is very
I don't-
ironic, considering that he's
And even
the
Ginty
one-
has his own little habits that he does, whereas like he'll
he likes the cat.
yeah, he likes his cat, and then what was her name, Hayu or whatever the fuck?
Bitch
He
tits.
makes he makes one of those little dolls with her with her likeness, and he's got a bunch of other dolls that you presume are kind of similar to Deckham's mannequins.
Oh, I forgot about that. The little shaker dolls. Yeah.
Yeah, those shakers, whatever the fuck they are.
Oh, I never picked up on that fact. That's nice.
How is that not a portrayal of emotion? And if it is, then what the fuck was Nona even trying to achieve here?
I think it's like a Kingdom Hearts like Nobody situation where it's like they have emotions, or at least they're trying to reconnect to some older part of themselves, going off of the whole like souls from the void kind of thing. But there's like a wall there, like they can't fully appreciate like what's within themselves.
And there's another argument to it, and I think this was talked about specifically between Nona and the Oculus guy, where she's clearly identified a problem, and you can see that very clearly when that chick with the blue eyeshadow, the fangirl, gets sent to hell for like no reason, and she was lied to essentially. It's like there's clearly a change that needs to be made here, because there's, and like Deckham will occasionally fuck up, and he sent like the one chick to hell, and she probably didn't need to even go there.
Yeah, well, Ginty is just having fun. Like, he's just fucking around.
Ginty's just a cocksucker.
Yeah.
But it's still a problem, and so I guess, like, you could argue, you know, she's looking to solve that, but again, there's like a million different paths here, and they all lead to bumfuck nowhere.
Yeah, because we don't know if they did change anything or not.
The saving grace here is that it was only mere mentions, and they didn't focus so much on it that I felt lost. Like, the primary focus was still really good. You know, I definitely stand by my 9 out of 10. I don't think these minor gripes are much of an issue. I agree it could have, had the series have been maybe even as long as, like, Genkutsu, where it's like 24 episodes, it probably would have benefited it, honestly. I think a full-blown sequel would actually fuck things up really hard, because I think they would just make a bad show, honestly. That's my biggest concern. I think they should probably just, for a 5-year-old show, just leave it alone and never touch it again.
You think they'll fully coolie it?
You
think they'll fully coolie it?
Possibly. I think they'll fucking, they'll bleach it where it's, like, really good initially, and then
they'll bleach its asshole.
Yeah. But
I was saying more so, like, I was thinking, like, maybe originally it should have been, like, 24 episodes, but I guess you can't just, like, account for that. Like, when you're, like, a company just having an original production, you don't know how it's going to do, even though the pilot went well, but you don't know how the general audience is going to take it.
yeah, I mean, and that's another thing. The reception on that was really weird, because I remember people were praising the shit out of it back in 2015. I heard about it then, but I didn't give a shit.
Well, yeah, I heard about. This isn't the first time I've heard about it myself.
Yeah, but at the same time, I haven't heard anybody even so much as mention it in since then.
70 years. It's been a long time.
Like, I mean, it seems like a forgotten piece of media that I just fucking unearthed.
Unearthed Arcana. Is there any other bullet points you want to...
Let me see if I talked to a forgotten masterpiece. Everything has more questions. Flower Boy, already talked about him. I did make the Bleach comparison. Style and animation was really good. It was oddly muted, but that was fine.
Yeah,
it worked really well. It looked really good. My
one complaint is a similar complaint to a lot of anime in the 2010s, and that is, there's a lot of bright shininess, a lot of glow on things.
I like the glow. It fit. For me.
It fits this because it makes it dreamlike. But it was a common trend last decade, and didn't really
said Shiyuki was a fucking nothing burger until the very end. I think that's it.
Well, I do think it's a great show. I liked it. Probably made me tear up. Can't really remember right now, but yeah, probably. Kind of wish I had more from it, but very excellent nonetheless, and I'm glad I watched it. Thank you, Gearbot.
Yeah, no problem.
probably next week, maybe even this weekend. I don't know, because people want to do stuff tomorrow, which I don't want to do, but I have to. I kind of want to get started on the Count of Monte Cristo, or whatever Japanese bullshit the name is.
Genkutsuo, the Count of Monte Cristo.
Yeah, that one. I think I'm.
Now that one is fucking complete as shit.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see how that goes. So another anime I finished has been actually is Brandon back?
Guess not.
It doesn't sound like it.
What did he go to do again?
He went to go buy ice cream or something.
Oh, okay. Well, you want to fill for time by talking about more Death Parade? You got anything else you want to say to it, or are you exhausted?
Like, I could tell the egg story real quick.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
yeah, go ahead. Tell the Alex story. Yeah.
So I briefly mentioned earlier that this.
Okay, I'm back.
Show, fuck. Okay, scratch that.
Yeah. Okay.
Whatever I was
Get
doing
Alex
was
story,
way
yeah.
more interesting than going to get ice cream.
What was that?
Nothing.
Fucking hate ice cream.
What's going on?
We were waiting on your ass.
Hi.
So, another anime I finished recently, besides Death Parade, has been Jujutsu Kaisen. And at first, it was alright. You know, it was pretty generic, standard shonen. You know, you got your main character, kind of spunky. You got your slightly more moody male character as a secondary. And, of course, the third female character. Yeah. There were things I did originally like about it, but I kind of felt like it was going to go some place of kind of disappointment. But I got to a contest arc, almost a tournament arc, between two schools, and it sounded like some real Naruto ass shit. Like, it sounded like something so standard and unimpressive. But once again, like, I think execution just really won me over at the end of the day. And I really loved the character. I already said I loved Gojo. I actually remember his name this time, Gojo Satoru.
Gojo's awesome.
Yeah, he's an amazing character. But I think my favorite character might actually be Todo.
Really?
Yeah, how much have you seen of Todo?
Enough to know that I like him. I've seen up to episode 18.
Okay, so you pretty much seen everything.
After the part that you're talking about and the whole Black Flash thing, yeah.
Yeah. And that guy is amazing, and my thing with, like I said earlier about Jujutsu Kaisen, even if it's a case where, like, I'm starting to get really attached to these characters and I want to see how their arcs go. Like, I want to see how they end up. Like, if they die, if good things happen to them, what bad things happen to them. I want to learn more about Gojo and, like, why he is the way he is. And I started reading the manga because I enjoyed that into the anime so much. And yeah, it's actually I think it's quite good. And like you said, I think actually a woman is doing, what's her name, like Gigi or something, Jujutsu Kaisen, and I believe she is inspired by, you said, Togashi. And I think it does shine through on these character details and where the characters are going and how much they're getting fleshed out so far. And I just want to see it keep going.
Wait, so a woman makes Jujutsu Kaisen?
Let me look it up. You said you're gonna try to maybe get more into it, Brandon, or thinking about dropping it.
Well, I hate this guy's hair.
You don't. It's his hair.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I hate his hair. Bothers me.
How? I'm so confused.
You know who I do like?
Who?
Alvis from Mare. I like him.
From what?
From Mare. Markin Awakens Romance. That's like a really old isekai. I like that show a lot. I might finish it at some point. Watched it a lot on Toonami back in the day. But as far as blue spiky haired secondary protagonists go, not my favorite so far. I think I'll keep watching Jujutsu Kaisen all the way up until the end, and
Complain about Megumi's hair.
yeah.
Okay, so people actually don't seem to know if it's a man or a woman. Apparently, it's a pen name, and yeah. I don't know. There's too much to look into it right now. Like, it seems to be like a fucking rabbit hole almost. So I'm not gonna.
I don't know what to say about the series from what I've seen already. Like, because I've seen Blue Exorcist, and it feels very Blue Exorcist-y.
Look at that Yu-Gi-Oh hair.
Yeah, I like the hair when it can stab me to death. You know, I don't like it when they blunt the edges of their hair.
You don't like it when it can just cut you?
Yeah, I don't like it when it can cut me.
So
I
you
like
need
it
the
when
hair
it
to
can kill.
stab you, not cut you.
Yeah.
Stuff
That,
me
that
metal.
means you don't like the anime branding, because the hair doesn't stab you, it cuts you.
Yeah, I need
That's
a.
why Orochimaru is his favorite character in all of manga.
Oh, wow.
Anime.
Orochimaru is kind of iconic, but anyway, on Jujutsu Kaisen, as somebody who has only seen like, I don't remember if I've seen 5 or 7 episodes.
Yeah, you probably haven't seen enough to be addicted yet.
Wait, I thought you've only seen 2. 2.5.
Just, oh no,
Is it more?
yeah. I don't remember if I've watched 5 or watched 7, but I have definitely seen where the girl got added. I forget what her name is. The one that was really excited to go to the big city.
The what's
The
her
one
name?
with that gets
Nob-
angry a lot.
Nobara or something like that.
Here, I'm on the wiki. Let me see what her name
I
is.
can't remember her name. It's a forgettable name, but I think she's becoming my favorite female character over time.
I don't like her at all.
Nobara Kugisaki.
Yeah, Nobara. I don't like her at all. She's annoying.
At first I thought the same, but the more her character is revealed, the more I like her.
Okay, look at how she looks in the manga. This is pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, where are all the pluses? Plus is my push to talk key, and it just started typing.
Yeah, she's annoying. And she has a dumb power, I feel like.
I think the power is the most interesting thing about her.
It's a good power. It gets used in an interesting way later.
I like
Yeah,
voodoo
but-
stuff. Because, I'm from Louisiana and all, and I like her voodoo
Yep.
and her stupid hammer. The heart on it.
Not
I like girls with big hammers,
not actual voodoo, gay robot, but Hollywood voodoo.
Holly.
Voodoo, not Vodon.
Yeah.
I know. Louisiana voodoo, which used to be authentic. Used to be.
But it's a shame whenever I watch a new series and all the side characters get introduced,
And
then
they
I
can't stab you with their hair. I know. Sucks.
start to become a pessimist. Because it's like I'm watching the main character having to put up with hanging out with all these other lesser creatures. Because I bet it doesn't end the way I think it does, but do all these characters stay relevant and not extremely weak and off the side?
I know. So far, yes. Especially, I don't know where you are, but here's one spoiler. So the guy whose hair you don't like because he can't stab you, right?
Yes.
Fugishiro.
Yeah.
I actually remember his name. Kind of proof that I'm getting into it, but Sukuna, the Curse King or the demon inside of the main character Itadori, he is the one human that he actually does not want to kill now,
because he believes that he will become more and more powerful, and he wants to personally be able to fight him. He thinks he's so cool.
Yeah, I remember that exchange. Brandon's seen it.
So he actually, I think even at one point, Sukuna actually tries to get Itadori to save this guy. Because he wants him to grow powerful. A little bit Hisoka. A little bit.
I was recently watching that new anime, Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. Yeah, the one where the black girl bullies her senpai.
The black girl, right? She's black.
Yeah, Miss Nagatoro. By the way, the person that she's bullying, I don't think he has an actual name. I think everybody just calls him senpai or just doesn't acknowledge what his name actually is. I'm waiting for the moment where I see what his name is. I'm also waiting for episode 3 to tell me. That's the most exciting thing. I want to know what this fucker's name is, so I can stalk him on social media and bully him myself.
Can't wait till it turns out he doesn't have a name, and it just was never relevant what his name was.
His name was John Senpai. Yeah, that's a new show this season. I'm watching The World Ends With You anime. I still need to get caught up on Jujutsu Kaisen, which is a story about a boy who becomes more than a boy after his family member dies, and then he starts to learn about supernatural presences.
Starts learning about Nin.
And then
Pretty much.
What's the guy's
First
name?
episode is crazy.
What's the guy's name from Blue Exorcist? I forgot his name.
Ren?
Yeah, Ren. I'm sorry if watching that show and I keep making comparisons to it, but
No, like I said, it starts off super generic. Like, that's how I felt when I started.
I hope that what I'm seeing here is just like it's like window dressing to pull people in, but the more I get into it, the more it stands out from the crowd.
I don't think it's nearly as good as Chainsaw Man, but I don't think it's a slouch either.
You know, I read some of Chainsaw Man.
Yeah?
I don't know if I like it.
How far
I
did you
like
get?
first, like 10 or 15 chapters.
Oh, yeah?
Enough to not want to go any farther. But I would watch an anime about it.
There is an anime coming out.
Yeah. It's finished. The whole thing's done.
Actually, that's kind of hard to answer. So, once this entire arc finished, it was revealed to be only the first arc in the series. But it is currently not being serialized at all. And, it tells a complete and full story. Like, the series could have ended there. But there will basically be a sequel series, and the story will just go on, pretty much. It'll probably be the same series, but... Like, the story pretty much gets finished. Like, there are no loose ends at the end, pretty much.
I got you. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, I can't even remember just everything. I thought the concept was cool, and then it's just like, I don't know, it seemed repetitive.
I don't really...
I didn't really like the guy that he got paired up with or whatever.
Oh, you don't like, what's his name? Eki? Eki, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, something like that.
It's
I
been
don't
a
like it
while.
at all.
He starts off as a fucking prick,
Yeah.
but he goes
Well,
places.
understandably.
His character goes places.
But,
He went from my least favorite character to one of my favorites. But yeah.
it's just kind of like the whole being in debt. I don't know. I feel like I needed more. And they covered all that up with the cool chainsaw demon dog. That was really cool. And other things happened, and it was just like, okay. one thing led to another, and then everything's just happening.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was good, I guess.
Well then.
So Spader. Oh, sorry. Were you about to say something?
Go on.
I was I was gonna kind of. I was gonna mention Invincible to get what Spader's spoiler-free thoughts are on it so far on episode 7.
Invincible's great. Robert Kirkman's a genius. Spoiler-free thoughts of like the latest episode or just the whole series?
Whole series up to this point.
It goes exactly how you think it would go. Man, it's still so good.
As it's faithful, or you can kind of see where all the pieces are coming together.
Yeah, like the way episode 1 goes and the way episode 1 ends, and then where you're at now with I guess episode 7, you're just like, I knew it'd be here.
Yeah, it really feels like things that were introduced didn't just get tossed away into obscurity.
Yeah, it was. I really like. Spoiler free. I like everything about it. I don't think there's anything I don't like about it. I did mention earlier that I would like, for the same animation, I would like something like Ben 10 related, like that, like this.
I think this. I don't know. I feel like I've always wanted a series like this. Like, it's crazy that I'm watching this series and the runtime has been like 40-minute episodes, and like the animation isn't lacking, the story is gripping. It's not directed towards kids.
Not at all.
Yeah, and
Not children, but us man-children.
you know, like if this show like debuted on Adult Swim or something, I would have eaten it up. Like as a teenager, I would have been totally into it.
How is it for somebody that is not normally into superheroes?
You'd really enjoy it.
I may check it out.
You'd really enjoy it, just for the fact of like, it's almost like a superhero parody in a way.
Yeah, that was the first impression I got out of it. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like a short, like superhero parody type deal. But then, like, the more you look at it, it's like immediately, like, it feels like they dropped the whole parody stick. And
Well, they do that. The way they do that is because the way they introduce the main character the way they do.
Yeah.
In the first episode, which you've seen, right, Wesker?
Yes, I've seen the first episode.
Yeah. So if you see what I'm talking about, the whole parody-esque.
Actually, I don't, because I don't understand the
They had an entire Justice League.
Well, everything. Okay. Well,
They had
I
a
got
Batman and a Flash. And a
Okay, yeah,
Superman
but when I
and
think
Wonder Woman
parody, I think
and a Green Lantern.
Okay, Brandon, I get it, but when I think parody, I think of like specifically like poking fun at something. When that's not necessarily the case.
That's not always the parody. My
You
favorite
did-
parodies are ones that aren't actually humor involved.
I mean,
It is.
saw the end of that episode to where it's just like,
Okay.
you can literally look at that episode and be like, this isn't your daddy's superheroes.
Right. So they have
yeah.
Teen obviously, like the ripoff, Teen Titans, and then they have Guardians of the Globe, aka the Justice League, or whatever you want to call them. I understand it's all copyrighted terms, or it's just certain so and so, or but it was very parodied, like in a way that the characters were the exact same, and they take it a step farther and like literalize the characters. Darkwing, okay, you can't get much more.
So anyway, like outside of that, because like that's the first introduction you get to this world and character and premise. It's just like, okay, it's a coming of age story about a boy getting his superpowers. His he's got a big daddy superhero and all that, and this world is just used to superheroes fighting bad guys. But it does things that other superhero shows don't really do. As far as like an overarching plot, like the whole conspiracy thing, like you would see like some of that like detective stuff and conspiracy stuff in like Batman. But
yeah, Robot, I'd say at least watch the first episode and see how interested you're seeing and what else happens.
Yeah, because that carries on throughout the same.
It does this thing with suspense, like where in a normal superhero show, it feels like then that episode you're watching is like a villain of the week, but then after that, like 2 weeks later, you see that same villain come back. It's just like, oh, okay, this is actually these are all like pieces that are building up to something.
Yeah, I really like the whole. So like Mark, you know, the main character Mark, I really like how he's one character, but the way the story's going right now,
He's not
it's
the
like
most important character.
right. That and the way the story is currently going, it's pulling this one character two separate ways, but the character itself doesn't know it. And that makes no
he's
sense.
actually not the most important character.
Not really. No. He's just there. He's the story, like, he is the central story that the show follows. Like, it is Invincible, and it's about Invincible, but the story follows him, but everything, like, is going on, like, is important. Everything going on is important.
I feel like a third of each of the episodes have to do with him directly, and then like other parts of the episode have to do with other other superheroes and characters.
Like, literally, the show follows his character, and his character obviously becomes, you know, Invincible. And then it kind of, like, splits. Like, you'll know, if you watch up to episode 7, I guess, you'll understand, like, his one character is being pulled two different ways, but he doesn't know it.
Oh, I gotta ask, are all those episodes that long?
Yeah, just about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but most of the time I just get caught up in all the cool stuff going on that I forget it's that long. Like this morning I was watching it and it just flew by. That was the fastest 40 minutes of my life.
Yeah, it gets to a point where I'm watching an episode, I'm like, oh my god, it's getting really, really good. Let me see how much of the episode is left. And now, yeah, it's like 5 minutes left. I'm just like,
yeah,
I want a little bit more.
I don't know. It's
And then there was no extra scene after during the credits this week's episode, and it was just really dramatic.
So the whole Invincible thing, I'm not familiar with Invincible, like the comic book or anything.
Yeah, it's based on the comic.
Right. So Robert Kirkman, though, I really liked the first few seasons of The Walking Dead. I watched up to like season 9, but the first few seasons were really good. So going into Invincible, I was like, hey, the comic book did really well. It had like 122 issues, very well received. People love it. It's like top 10 on their list, and it's not like a main.
It's not like DC.
Right, it's not
Marvel.
a main publisher that posted it, imaged it like a third-party indie book, and it did extremely well, which obviously why it has an adaptation. Well, it's very, to me, you don't have to be into superheroes because of everything going on, but Robert Kirkman does a really good job at telling a story and giving you so many characters that have so much just all going on at once.
Yeah, like, these characters are interesting even if they didn't have superpowers, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I'll say this. I did end up looking up, like, Invincible spoilers just a little bit, just because
I wouldn't even know if the comic books would be considered spoilers at this point.
I did look up the comics, and I wanted to see just how far the story goes and how far they take it. And it's really exciting. I really want to stick with the series.
Yeah, I think it's. I know it has 2 years on its contract or something like that. So we might get like 2 seasons, I guess.
But I don't know if
that.
I don't know. I just saw it was contracted for like 2 years or something like that.
How often do the episodes come out?
Once a week,
Wow.
like every Thursday.
Damn, that's
But I don't know if it's gonna be like a 12. Like it's an hour long.
That's a lot
Is
of
it gonna
fucking
be-
content. God.
Is it gonna be? Well, it's 122 issues. So if they're following the story, but they're doing it in a different way because what happens in episode 1 and the way it ends in the comic books, that takes like, I'm gonna just like say 15 issues to get to that point. So in the comic books, you know, you're reading it probably bi-weekly or monthly, which I think it's probably bi-weekly, honestly, when it was coming out. So every 2 weeks you're reading this comic book, and you have a week to sit on the characters, and then another week to get into it and read it, and then, you know, you're really involved in the characters that you see, and then the same thing happens in the comic book that happens at the end of episode 1. So episode 1 did a really good job at giving us these characters. You get interested, and then everything happens, and it just, for me at least, just hooked me immediately. Because I didn't know anything about the book going into it. I didn't know anything about the show. I just knew Robert Kirkman did it, so I was like, oh, I gotta watch it. And it's on Amazon Prime. I have it. Why not?
And I'll say this about the show, like, after episode 1. I'm surprised with how many characters we're left with that feel like original concepts.
Yeah. I'm surprised they did such a good job with that as well. Because it's really hard, like, and to me, that is another cool point to touch on, is they literally, like I said, parody the Justice League. And then all these other characters that are important throughout the show are original. Like, they feel so original. Like, Adam Eve.
Yeah, like Adam, Eve, even like Rex and
Yeah, Rex is cool. I like his voice.
Robot, like, just everybody in Teen Team I like.
Yeah, Teen Team. Yeah, fell apart quick.
Yep.
And the new Guardians of the Globe, and then the whole, like, everything, and the villains. To me, the villains in the show are really cool.
I want to say, like, Robot's one of my favorite characters right now. Just
Me
'cause,
too, because
like, I
I've
didn't
seen
expect
spoilers
him
in the
to,
comic
like-
book about what
Yeah.
could possibly happen, and I don't know if it's going that direction yet, or if it will, but I don't know. I like what I saw this week, so I like, what's his name? Like Samson or something like that?
Black Samson.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
It feels like there's been a lot more attention on, like, characters like Robot than on Mark himself.
Yeah, but the stuff going on in Robot's a lot bigger than what's going on with Mark.
Does
Yeah.
Black Samson also tease his senpai?
He does. He is a senpai. He's a character, and you're introduced to him, and he lost all of his powers at one point while being with the Guardians of the Globe, but now he has, like, a super suit that lets him fight.
Had a
But-
super suit.
But people are constantly teasing him, even though he has the most experience, about him losing his powers. Like,
Yeah,
oh man,
he's the oldest.
things would have gone differently if you still had your powers, old man.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
There's something about the show, just the way that they go about making the 40 minutes seem not like 40 minutes. It does a really good job of just flowing.
I will say that first episode went on really long, but it wasn't really bad. Like, it still kind of irked me, like the school scene where the guy, like, his only line was pretty much like, "Oh man, I want to fuck a guy right now," and it's like,
William.
okay,
Yeah, William,
Yeah,
he's
But
a
I
you
treat.
completely ignored him, honestly.
Look, I'll tell you,
Rightfully so.
when we were watching episode 1 of that, I did not think I'd get hooked on it. I was
It's-
just like, what am I watching right now?
It's just so out of nowhere and eye rolling, and it feels like it's so forced in.
William's weird, but
You say that he gets better though, way better, like an actual character, right?
not way better. But at
I
the
thought you
very
guys
least,
were talking
he's not
about-
out of the show.
Like, I thought Spader said he forgot he was even gay.
Yeah, because I completely ignored his character because I didn't think he was important. But I didn't even know he was gay until the...
He's very
Most
gay
of
and
the
in your
episode.
face about it. But I also I don't know. I like it when the main guy has a friend who's completely down to earth, and I guess this one's just really horny.
Yeah.
Or maybe he just wanted to experiment, man.
Experiment.
You wanted
We-
some spearmint gum
Like
on his
I really
cock.
don't remember him saying that. Like, what part in episode 1 does he say that?
Like it's like a scene where like there's like a bully, and it was also the scene where like I can't remember. Fuck. There's like a black chick too. Like I think she had like a backpack.
Yeah, Amber.
Amber,
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know these fucking characters. And the bully was like a butch-looking motherfucker. Like his name was Butch or something. Probably not Butch, but he looks like a
Oh,
Butch.
yeah. The school bully.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, then he did that thing. Brendan and I were watching it together, and like it was like, oh man, you fucking use your powers. Everyone thinks you're a freak now. 'Cause you took those
Yeah.
punches.
I was thinking back to the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies and how everybody started being a jerk to Peter because he stood up for himself because he just so happened to have powers. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, I should have been
So-
cool and eaten that knuckle sandwich.
It's like they're trying to say we live in a society.
Are you referring to the part where Mark's friend is like talking about how he likes Omni-Man?
no,
he
we're talking
said that
about-
his father was hot as fuck and he wanted to suck his cock.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he said. And then he
And
said,
it's
"Oh,
like
sorry,
it's like okay, all right, this is like the equivalent of saying someone's mom is hot, which also is kind of uncomfortable.
I've completely.
Yeah, but it's even weirder when you're.
I
gay
must have
friends.
blanked out on that. I must have like been in another dimension. I must have been in Christian's quick real dimension when that happened.
We fucking commented on it, man. You're the one that pointed out that it was his father.
I
talking
wasn't
about?
thinking of William. I was just thinking about plot. I watch Invincible for the plot, not for the fellatio. Anyway, part like where he was kind of like people were being mean to Mark just because he could take a beating and it didn't affect him at all. It's like, oh, you're a freak, Mark Grayson. Oh,
Freak.
can't believe you're so tough at getting punched and stuff, you freak. That kind of shit. Man, I mean, just thinking back on it, like my perspective on that show changed so much, like from where it was to where I am now.
I would like to see. I don't know because I kind of want to see the school characters develop more, but I'm more interested in what's going on out in the world and not. I mean, I'm sure there'll be plenty of both.
Oh, the school. Oh, Mark
Irrelevant.
just has a horrible time balancing out his life, and the school stuff just kind of takes a back seat to everything else.
Which is nice for the show. Like, I like it better without the school stuff, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say it might feel too anime if there's too much school in it.
It's not even that. It's just the whole like watching the show. Like you've seen the end of the first episode.
Yeah.
I wanted so much more of that, and I'm not disappointed at all.
Okay.
Like that alone was enough to make me watch more. I was
Well,
just like,
it certainly has piqued my interest
It's like
in what is going to happen and like what kind of surprises may be in store.
so. You know what it reminds me of, Spider. At this point,
Mhm.
it's like we went from Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z right now.
Like in one episode.
Like it's like we went from the ending of Dragon Ball into the first episode of Dragon Ball Z, and I think Spider can kind of get that reference.
Yeah, it's like a whole new ball game, man.
Yeah,
Power levels exponentially increase at that
not
point.
even that, but the entire
The
circumstance.
tone.
Yeah, the tone.
I'm really interested in shows that shift the tone around that much. So I'd like to see more. But besides all that, the only other thing I have checked out that is new has been, like me and you. We can maybe do it a bit tonight, Brandon. But we started on our legendary journey in Halo Combat Evolved, like the first game.
All right, man. We got to do it. We got to finish something because I don't want to lose interest. I got to keep playing, or we're never gonna finish legendary campaign.
Okay, you Halo junkie, you. Beyond that, I've been completing Resident Evil 5, getting all the achievements in that, playing on professional difficulty, and I have started watching One Piece again. Before I get into the Count of Monte Cristo, I'm not gonna do too many episodes before I start on the Count of Monte Cristo, but I've gotten into the Alabasta arc, and it really is starting to feel like it's coming into its arcs, where now like stuff will happen between islands, and like there'll be an overarching plot between islands now. And I really enjoyed, I don't know how much was filler and how much was canon. I've been referring to a filler guide, but I really did like those Kobe episodes. Does anybody have any idea what I'm talking about right now?
Something Monte Cristo.
Yeah, never mind.
The Count of Monte Cristo?
Well, thanks for
talking about a show
tuning
you
in
haven't
to
even-
Weskerocity Podcast. See you next time.
Goku defeat Frieza? Find out.
He's
Next
gonna do it.
Dragon Ball Z.
He's gonna be
Buy some
Frieza
merch.
again. Hey la, hey chala, da ba da da ba da.
I always like to reference the all the weird rock music that came up in the English dub back in the day. Like Rock the Dragon and the whole da na na na. Well, I think that's
Pow wow.
yeah. I think that's from the same song.
Yeah.
I think that's really funny. Even though I always mention how in anime, whenever a localization drastically changes the script, it makes me really mad. Like, it fills me with virgin rage.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think it's really funny and awesome. I think I might be just I don't know why it makes me so angry and happy at the same time. It's the goddamn the ambivalence of myself to embrace the weeb in me, but also the Saturday morning cartoon guy in me. I am my own monster.